You lying.
Society. All
Con.
right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites. Come out every week to prophesy the downfall of this wicked place called Babylon or America. All right. But before we do so, we want to give all praises to the Most High and His Son, true Hebrew. All right. By doing so, we say, Kal,
Kal,
Halayim,
Halayim,
Love,
Love,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Hashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Yahweh Shai,
Hashem,
Hashem,
Ah,
Ha,
Radah,
Radah,
Wadash,
Wadash,
Mama.
Mama.
All right. Double honor to the elder apostles, GMS, and the elders. Shalom to Akim, and Akhwat and the children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. Today, we're going to go into a topic dealing with Revelations. You hear a lot of the apostles say it. You hear a lot of the Akim say it all the time that Revelation bounces around a lot, and that's part of the reason why people can't understand it. You know, they'll put the scriptures in the wrong place. All right, let's say it plainly. We want to go into that with that in mind. All right, that topic. Somebody get Revelations 1 and 2. 1 and 1.
Book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, which Yahweh gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass, and he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John.
Right, so in the book of Revelations, you had John the Revelator. He was receiving certain visions, all right? But he was getting those visions, and he had to put them in place, you know? But they when the visions were showing up, they weren't showing up in order. All right, keep going. They say he showed them visions of things which must shortly come to pass. All right, basically what? Prophecy. Okay, go ahead.
Who bear record of the word of Yahweh and of the testimony of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach and of all things that he saw.
All right, man. So all the things that he saw. All right, so John wrote all the things that he saw. All right, in the visions. Now, did he see them in order? You know. Now let's keep going. Jeremiah 28 and 8. All right, because the scriptures are written in the mystery, parables.
Dark saying.
Dark saying. That's right.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence.
Right. And John the Revelator was one of those prophets that was prophesying of what? Of war and of pestilence as well. All right. So that's the spirit of prophecy, man. You know, and what are we seeing today? War, pestilence, all right, and evil. Right? And that's what the book of Revelation is based on, right, bro?
The prophet which prophesy of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord have truly sent him.
Right, man. So it's about the visions. And those visions have to be correct, accurate according to the spirit of the Lord, which is the spirit of truth and everything that he spoke when he was on the earth. Somebody get 1 Corinthians 2 and 7.
1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 7. But we speak the wisdom of Yahweh and a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which Yahweh ordained before the world unto our glory.
There you go, man. So the Lord, he has to ordain you to be in the truth, man. All right? He has to ordain you. You know, before the foundation was built of the world, which would be Israel, you know, the cosmos, and also before this known, what's it called, oikoumene. This whole earth was created. Before the whole earth was created, the Lord had to ordain you in the spirit realm to be one of his elect today. Meaning being one of the first fruits to usher in his kingdom.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
There you go, man. See, this has to be before your birth. And when you were born, in this age, you're being reincarnated, meaning put back into the flesh from your former life. And that's why the scriptures say that what? The spirit of the prophet is subject unto the prophet. All right? If you were a prophet then, you're going to be a prophet now. And you're going to be able to understand the prophecy. That's the point. All right? Go ahead with that again.
All right. It's 1 Corinthians 2 and 7.
Right.
But we speak the wisdom of Yahweh in a mystery.
Right? This is a mystery that everybody can't understand. All right? So it's only made for the prophets and by the prophets. It's only made for the believers and by the believers, man. All right, go ahead.
Even the hidden wisdom which Yahweh ordained for the world unto our glory, which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory.
Right, so this was before the world, all right? And the Lord, what? He set this mystery in place, which is what? A parable. All right, it's parables. That's why can't nobody understand the scriptures, man. They can read it time and time again. Your pastors in these churches, all right, and these jakes, these Muslims, Israelites that have turned Gentile, American preachers, right? They can't understand this, man. It's not made for them. All right, so that lets you know they weren't prophets in the old time, and they were not ordained before the world was established. All right.
This is Romans chapter 11 and verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Right. Right. But the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded, man. So the election have obtained, what's that? Answers, man. All right. Understanding the truth. You know? So I'm gonna wait on that. Go ahead.
Right, this is the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. How then shall they call upon him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher?
There you go. All right. So the preachers are what? Set up to teach this word, man. All right. So they're going to be able to understand the mysteries. They're going to be able to break it down to you, break down the allegories and the parables. All right. So how can you learn about the Lord except you go through what? The people that he set up. You know? That's like that movie, The Matrix, where they had a hallway full of doors. There's only that one door that'll get you to the Creator. You know, it's only one door, Yahweh Shai, and can't nobody go up any other way. You got to go through Yahweh Shai, man, and the men that he set up. Starting with Apostle Tahar, GMS, on down, you know? All right, let me get 1 Corinthians 14 and 8.
The book of 1 Corinthians 14 and 8. For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who should prepare himself to the battle?
Right, what battle is that? There's a spiritual battle right now, man, between good and evil. All right, so how do you prepare your people if you're not sent? How should they teach unless they be sent? All right, so they're not going to be equipped to prepare the people, man, for battle. All right, and you got people like Sakari, you got people like DOCC, you know, saying that Edomites can make it. That's them giving off. They're sounding, yeah, they're calling themselves Israelites. They're standing upon their feet, but they have no breath in them. All right, and they're a vessel giving off the improper sound. All right, so there got to be a distinction in the sound. Right, brother?
2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1. Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we receive mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of Yahweh deceitfully.
Right. What's that? The hit. We say dishonesty. What's that? Saying that the Lord is a so-called Edomite. Saying that Esau can make it. You know, those are things done in dishonesty. All right, teaching lies to our people. All these false prophets. Go ahead, brother.
Not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of Yahweh deceitfully,
Right.
but by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Yahweh.
There you go. So it's all about the truth, man. All right? It's all about doing this work in spirit and in truth. That's it.
But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
Right? So everybody else is lost, and we found what we're looking for, which is what? The truth. As the brother was reading in Romans 11:7. All right? Israel not found what they're seeking for. They're seeking for the truth. Or answer. Go ahead.
But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yahweh shine, who is the image of Yahweh, to shine upon them.
Right, man. So, yep. So the damn devil. The devil has deceived 2/3 of our people, you know. So the only way they can get the light is through who? The true light bearer. And that's who? Through Yahweh. All right? Let's get to the point, man. Yeah, go ahead. Let me get Revelation 8. Revelation 1:19.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 15. And I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. And I just brought that out to back up the elder, man. You know, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to send unto our people pastors, man, and learn, man, to feed the flock. You know, and they're going to be according to his heart. Just like the precept the brother Gabar brought out, you know what I'm saying? He's going to know his hope for elect, the man that he set up from the womb. And they're going to have his word and his spirit from the womb. So they're going to have all the tools that they need to rightly divide the word of truth.
Right. You know? Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that real quick. Revelation 1:19. Yeah.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 19. Write the things which thou hast seen.
Right. So this is what the Lord told to John the Revelator. And this is the scripture you want to use to explain why Revelation bounces around all over the place. Right, brother?
Write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be hereafter.
See that? So he wrote everything that he saw and has seen, and the things that shall be thereafter. So he wrote everything he saw in the past, you know, and that was told from the scriptures, and everything that he was seeing at that moment, and the things to come. But he was getting the visions in spurts. You know, let's get Revelation 8 and 11.
Revelation 8 and 11. And the names of the stars is called wormwood.
Oh, Revelation 8 and 1.
It's Revelation 8 and 1. And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of a half an hour.
Right, so that represents John sitting there waiting for answers from heaven, and there was space for a half an hour where he didn't receive any answers. You know, no more visions. All right, so he was getting visions just off the fly. Right, he was sitting there waiting on them. You know, but they weren't coming in order. He said, "Write the things that you have seen, the things that you're seeing now, and the things you're going to see in the future." All right. Let's get to Habakkuk 2 and 2. All right, so yeah, man. If they don't have the spirit of understanding, they will not be able to break down or understand the scriptures. They won't have ears to hear or eyes to see. Go ahead, brother.
This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said to them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Mashiach, and shall deceive many.
Right, so there's going to be many people that show up saying that they're the anointed, meaning they're anointed by the Lord, saying that they're prophets or teachers when they're not. Right? So what did the Lord say? Anybody know what I said? Judge the tree by a fruit. Right, man. You got to judge the tree by its fruit. You got to judge them by the doctrine they teach you, you know, and the laws that they believe they should keep. All right, by the prophecy. You know? Go ahead, brother.
Matthew chapter 12 and verse 33. Either make the tree good and his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and his fruit corrupt. For the tree known by his fruit.
The tree is known by its fruit. All right. So there's no straddling the fence. You know, it got to be one way or the other. All right. You got to be speaking the prophecies. You got to be telling the truth, man. You know. And just like us, we bounce around when we do the scriptures. Anybody precept on precept? I got that here too. Let's start from 9. 13. Yeah, Isaiah 28, 9.
I gotta put something back up.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
This is Matthew chapter 3, verse 10. Now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which bringeth not slacking. Now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees.
Right, so the judgment is going to start at where? It start at the house. All right, go ahead. You wanna get that? All right, the root of the trees represent these people.
All right, therefore every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
All right, so it's going to be hewn down. They're going to be cut down in the sight of the congregation. And they're going to be what? Cast into the fire, man. Basically cut off. All right, from amongst the elect of Israel. You know, by the fruit that you bear, man. Every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account for the day of judgment. You got to go ahead, brother.
This book of 1 Peter 4 and 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And if it first begins at us, what should the end be of them that obey? Know the gospel of Yahweh Ba'ashem
That's
Yahushai.
right, man, because 2/3, what shall their end be? It's going to be what? Fire. You know, getting burned up. What about these heathens? You already know their judgment is going to be fire. All right, destruction. Yeah, you know, that's later, but yeah, slavery, you know. But the hopeful elect, you know, what it say? What it say right there? What was the point? I heard the actually to prove the trees.
Again from the top.
Yeah, this is part.
For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house.
That's right. That's right, man. So if you call yourself an Israelite, people say, yeah, we got it made. Well, actually, you know, that's your ass if you don't have it made. You know what I mean? You put you in more danger. You got more responsibility being an Israelite. You know what I mean? All right, because the axe is laid to the root of the trees. The Lord is starting there first, man, through the doctrine. He's starting with what you call the sip. All right? He's cutting people off, pushing people to whatever side they're going to be on. The wicked going to be pushed to the left, and the righteous of Israel going to be pushed to the right. That's how he's laying the axe to the root of the tree, cutting off something, cutting off branches. And if a branch be cut off from the tree, it's made to be what? Picked up and used of men and burned. All right? That's these camps.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 9, verse 11. And they that have loathed my law, while they yet had liberty, and when as yet had place of repentance open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it by death, by pain.
Okay. All right. So the one that's called being what? Sleep. All right. To be spiritually asleep is to what? Miss the opportunity that's being presented to them. You know? He said what? They're going to know it after death by pain, man. And the Lord going to leave them here. He said he's going to melt them.
And that's a beautiful point that the elder used the word sleep, because the scripture brought out before in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 says, therefore, seeing we have this ministry, we faint not, but have denounced the hidden things of dishonesty and not walking in craftiness. So knowing that we have this ministry, knowing we have the Spirit of the Lord, we don't have time to sleep. We don't have time to be faint. That's the time to show our strength, you know. So we faint not because we have this ministry. We have a place for mercy. So we want Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh to show mercy upon us, so we don't faint. We don't have time for sleep.
Great power comes great responsibility.
Great power becomes great responsibility.
Imagine Superman just worked at Walmart all day.
Right. He said, to whom much is given, much is required. All right. Where, bro?
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, starting at verse 47. It says, again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered of every kind.
Right. The scriptures right now is that net, you know. It's actually just doing this work is that net. You know, what did he tell Peter to do? Cast out the net, right? he was gonna teach him how to be what? A fisher of men. All right. He told Peter by faith, he said, cast out that net into the damn water. And he did, and what? It filled up with all kind of fish. And that's what we do. We cast out our net in faith, right, brother?
Verse 48, which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away.
There you go. So now that's why we're doing this work until what? Until what? What's that? Second Ezra, the number of thy children. Second Ezra, I think two.
Second Ezra 2 and like 40.
Right before they get crowned and all that. Got it? Number of their children.
This is book of Second Ezra 2 and 40.
Right.
Take the number of Zion and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white,
There you go. The ones that are going to be clothed in white are the elect. All right.
which have fulfilled the law of the Lord Yahweh Shai.
There you go. So the Lord waiting for that. Yep, he waiting for the 144,000 and the 1/3. You know? Go ahead, brother.
Second Ezra is 2 and 41. The number of thy children whom thou lodgest for
Longest for?
longest for Silakia. Fulfill it. Visage the power of the Lord
Yep,
Yahweh
read
Shai.
that again. That fulfilled part. Read that again.
Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 41.
Yeah.
The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people, which have been called from the beginning, may be hallowed.
That word hollow meaning what? Meaning being separated, being made holy. All right. So yeah, man, the Lord is using the sift and laying the axe to the root of the trees to make that separation. See that? They're gonna bring some close to him. They're gonna push others away. And that's called the sift. You know, he always bring a bunch of people into the truth, and then a bunch of people fall away. All right, that's what you do with a tree, man. You know, you lay the axe to the root of it, you prune it, and the Lord trims the tree and prunes the tree. All right. Go ahead, brother. Then all right. Okay. Yeah. You bring something else. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Now you bring his interjection up. All right, go ahead, y'all.
This is book of Daniel 7 and 18. But the saying of the Most High should take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
All right, man. So this is all prophecy, man. This is the type of stuff, the type of visions that John the Revelator was seeing. All right. And he was seeing us get delivered. All right. And the saints of Israel taking the kingdom. Go ahead, Debar.
Or just back at Matthew 13 and 47.
Right, so they got to speak according to this. The church did not tell you that. They'll tell you that the whole world are saints. You know? Go ahead up.
Matthew 13 and 47. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea and gathered up every kind, which when it was full, they drew to shore and sat down and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away.
You know, so the good represent the 144,000, 144,000 and the 1/3. They're going to be gathered in the vessels. What's those vessels? Somebody knows that? Matthew, we say barn, gathered in a barn. All right, these those vessels, man. Revelation 11. What's the other one? Barn. Barn first. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, Revelation 11 and 11.
Revelation.
All right, he said the good gonna be gathered into vessels. What's those vessels? The chariots, man.
Revelation 11 and 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them that which saw them.
Right, so what's that? That goes into 1960s. All right, now we know 1969 with Abba Bivens. All right, the spirit of life entered into us. Go ahead.
And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud.
Right, man. See that? So the good are going to be what? They're going to ascend up to heaven in the cloud. The cloud is what Esau calls UFOs. All right. They know that the chariot of the Most High. There you go. All right. Those are the clouds. Now he said what? The good are going to be gathered into those vessels. The ones that do good works. All right. You find somebody find that? The barn.
Wheat and the tares. Matthew 13 and 30.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 13, verse 30. Let both grow together unto the harvest, and in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together, burst the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them.
Right. So basically, group them all together. All right, amongst the wicked. Look at that. They all grouped together. Go ahead.
But gather the wheat into my barn.
There you go. And that word barn means to be what? Taken care of. All right. When you take the cattle into your barn, that means you're trying to give them specific attention. All right, and taking care. And that's what the Lord going to do with His elect. They call apartments in the sky. He said, "Rest in your chambers." Somebody knows that?
Isaiah chapter 26, verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy door about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed.
There you go, man. So, yep. He said, what? Hide yourself in the what? The chambers. And that word chambers means what? Apartments in the sky, man. All right? So this is all prophecy, man. These are the things that John was seeing, John the Revelator, who was a so-called black man. All right? On the Isle of Patmos. The Lord came and showed him vision. All right? All right,
Verse 21, for behold, the Lord Yahweh Shai cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. That's why we need salvation and deliverance. All right, because the Lord's coming down here to destroy this place, man. But He's gonna preserve and save His elect, the ones that have been down here doing this work. The ones that have been down here warning the people of the destruction that's about to come. So those are the ones that He's going to lift up and have enter into the chambers until the indignation be over. Like it says in Revelation, they stood upon a sea of glass. All right?
Yep. Remember, He told John, write the things which you have seen, things you're looking at that moment, and the things you're going to see in the future. John's back here today on this earth. All right?
Right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 24. The way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from hell beneath.
The way of life is above to the wise, man. That's called what? Heavenly conversation. All right? That he may depart from what? Hell beneath. What's that? It's hell on earth. That's what's coming. This is already hell, but it's going to be ignited hell. Inferno, a lake of fire. And we want to be delivered from that. Not only out of the fire that's coming, but the lake of fire. All right. Also, this affliction, adversity, man, which is like hell to us. Right? The Lord said He got the keys to death and hell, that He's going to release us from that. All right. Go ahead, y'all walk.
This is the book of Jeremiah 37 and 8. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
All right, I just spoke with somebody yesterday, and he's just joining TOCC. He was asking me, like, what do I think? I was like, oh, man, I'm going home and make a video on them right now. But, I'm out of studying putting this together. But, read that again.
For that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
Right, so this guy I was speaking with, he was hoping and believing that the time of Jacob's trouble already passed.
Oh,
He said, "Oh man, I gotta go back into that. I just came out of my tribulation.
your tribulation.
Your tribulation, no, the nation is in the tribulation, man. Our people are twisted inside out.
Apparently, according to Ricard from GLCC, the time of Jacob's trouble is over. And he's safe. He's in a safe place right now. Don't worry. The rapture is over. According to GLCC.
That's what they teach, man. But little be known, the time of Jacob's trouble is at the door. The time where Jacob is going to be tested with these heathens, man. All right, going to be put to the test. The Lord going to try every person to see what type of metal they're made of. You know, see if you're gold or alloy. You know, like, go ahead.
But he should be safe out of it. Jeremiah 30:8.
Yeah, so when all hell break loose, the elect of Israel gonna be saved out of that. All right, go ahead.
For it should come to pass in that day, say the Lord, Yahweh Shai of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and will burst thy bonds, and strangers should no more serve themselves of him.
There you go. So, all right, so that's what these damn Edomites not serving themselves of us anymore. That's when the Lord gonna break the bonds off our people. All right, it's about that, not just about everybody's personal affliction, about my personal tribulation. It's about the Lord breaking the bonds off of our nation, man. You know, so is he gonna do that for everybody? No, he's gonna do it for his elect first. All right. Go ahead.
The book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, and verse 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them."
All right, that's what these people saying, man. They saying peace and safety, right? Laughing, giggling.
Yep.
Then sudden destruction coming, man. The Lord said he's gonna catch everybody in their security. It's gonna come upon them, man. Catch them in their security. It's gonna destroy their ass. All right. Go ahead, up. Are you good? But yeah, you got Russia and them having peace talks with NATO. They trying their best to bring peace, but they can't. You know? They got some peace talks coming up. All right. And hey, but they're gonna say peace, peace. That's when what? Sudden destruction gonna come, man. That's what we're waiting for. If you're in the spirit of truth, you'll be waiting for that. You heard that?
1 Thessalonians 5 and 2, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape."
All right, man. So what? Catch everybody off guard. All right. Why? Because they're not gonna have any understanding of these prophecies. They're not gonna have any understanding of the visions, such as the visions that were shown to John the Revelator, man. He was talking about World War III, World War I, World War II, us being in captivity in Babylon, the great whore. You know, it speaks about the red dragon, Esau. You know? Go ahead,
2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 3. For the time will come when they will not ensure that a sound doctrine.
right? So they're not going to endure sound doctrine. All right? So you try to teach them, being the Lord's voice, because the Lord's voice is what? His men. And you try to teach these people doctrine, and they don't hear it. That means what? They're not enduring, they're not being patient enough to hear the truth, man. All right? They're not long suffering the truth. Go ahead, brother.
But after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned into fables.
Oh, man, so our people been turning to fables, man. Fables like what? Thinking that the Lord is a so-called Edomite man. Thinking that America going to continue forever. Thinking that the time of Jacob's trouble has already passed. You know, according to prophecy, that time is coming. It's at the door. You're going to have things like 2 Ezra 15. Somebody get that? 15.
Second Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein.
Right, what time is he talking about? He's talking about now. All right, woe to the world. Whoever's on this earth, they're gonna be in danger, man, in that time. All right. Woe to the world. Can't you see it now? It's nothing but destruction on this damn earth. Right, everywhere you look, man. Okay, there, brother.
It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands.
Right, man. What's that? Civil war. All right, so that's what time is coming. What's gonna bring a civil war? Dollar crash. You know, what are they trying to dumb the people down for with these mandates? The dollar crash, getting them prepared for that. That way they won't be any uprising. But when they try to uprise, they can just control them. All right, go ahead up. So
Well,
that's the time of Jacob's trouble. Go ahead.
For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another.
Right, what's that? Sedition is what? Basically a civil war, a civil uprising, where the people are going to uprise, the citizens are going to rise up against the government. Then they're going to find out that the government is not a person, it's an actual corporation. For the corporation, the reason they call it a corporation is because it's a conglomerate of different entities. Sometimes it's not even people. So there's nobody to point a finger at. All right? Go ahead, man. So they're going to be yelling out to the damn air. That's it.
It says, shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power.
Right, man. The course of their action shall stand in their power, meaning they're not going to go to the government seeking power. They're going to say, yo, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to start a militia. All right? And that's what they call, gaining their own power. All right? And you got the Illuminati. They say the only thing that's in their way right now is the Constitution. You know, who do you think they're targeting? Look at Biden. What do he say? Crack pipes. Crack pipes and crack needles for so-called black people. You think he ain't throwing the Mexicans and Puerto Ricans in there too? You know, so this is an attack on the Israelites, man. All right, so that's the time of Jacob's trouble. They got to make a choice. Who you going to serve? The Most High or man?
I mean, they might as well put crack pipes in the neighborhood. They put the crack in the neighborhoods in the 80s.
Right.
With the crack pipes. He just finishing up the job.
Right, start off right in Philadelphia, 81. Right?
This is Psalms chapter 50, verse 15. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me.
Right, go one more verse.
Verse 14. Offer unto God thanksgiving and pay thy vows unto the Most High.
Right, so yeah, man, you want true Thanksgiving. You know, they celebrate their Thanksgiving holiday. But you want to offer true Thanksgiving, you know, you do this work. You pray to the Lord. All right?
Precept from precept.
Yeah, precept from precept.
Isaiah chapter 28, starting at verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Right, so they gotta be drawn from the breast of the proper milk. All right? You know, so that means they gotta grow up on the right foundation. You know, if they came into this truth through GLCC, they're gonna be thinking that Edomites can make it. But they've never gotten strong on the milk. They gotta understand that the milk from the foundation that was set by people like Abba Bivens, King Mashad, you know, Elder Yaquab, Elder Apostle Tahar, you know. So that's the milk that they need to be built up on so they can make them strong. What's that? Somebody get that? Word. All right. What's the milk? Knowing that you're an Israelite. But now, what's that? taught again. There you go.
This is First Peter 2:2. As newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word that ye may grow thereby.
Right. So desire the sincere milk of the word. All right. So as newborn babes, once you come into this truth, you're a new creature, being refreshed, and you got to desire the sincere milk. All right. You know, that you may grow thereby. Other than that, they're not grown.
Malnutrition.
They're malnutrition. Right. The Lord said He was going to nourish us here. You know, build us up. But these camps are not built up in the faith. They're built up in what they would call being puffed up. You know, knowing that the Israelites, they poke their chest out, they get the damn band around their wrist, they go out and teach every week. Yeah, you're going to slavery, Esau. You know, kicking in the back of other brothers, but you ask them to go into breakdowns, they can't. So they weren't built up on the milk.
They can cut you out though good.
Right. They cut somebody out real fast. But then you gotta be weaned from the milk and go to the meat. All right, just like any other baby. All right. You got that? No.
The Hebrews. All right, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 5, verse 12. For when, for the time, ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again.
Right. So a lot of people that call themselves teachers, they need to be taught again. GOCC, their leader, Rakah, what's his name? Sakari leader, Alizé, Alazar,
Sound about right.
Donus Aurelius, Johanna, they all need to be taught again. All right, because they've looked into the word and they forgot what type of man they were when they walked away. All right, but now they're teaching the wrong doctrine.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High.
There you go. What's the first principles? The first principles represents the milk. All right, represents the truth. That's the principle of spirit, which is wisdom. Go ahead.
In or become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
There you go. And some people, once you come into this truth, what's up, bro? You go from the milk, and then you start to go to the meat. All right, you start to learn the prophecies and breakdown. You know, you start to understand Ezekiel 37. You start to understand Jeremiah 50, 51. You know, you start to understand Ezekiel 38. You know, Daniel chapter 9. That's the meat. But then if you forget that, you start going off, you need to go back to the basics. Go back to the milk again, you know? All right, and be retaught. Repent and let your mind be retaught.
For everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness.
That's right, because it's showing that they're not skillful enough to deal with the deep things of the scriptures, man. It shows that they're just babes. But they are just poking their chest out, leading camps, all kind of stuff, man. Getting money for teaching. You know? But they're really unskillful. All right, go ahead, brother.
For he is a babe, but strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age.
Go, man. All right. Yahushua represents that full age. All right. And being in this truth, once you've grown up, you become a reflection of him upon this earth. All right. He said, we have been given the unction of the Lord. We know all things. So we're supposed to know all things pertaining to the Spirit of the Lord and the truth, right?
Even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
Right, because once you come into this truth, you're going to have your senses exercised. So you can discern what's good and what's wrong. That's what this is all about. All right. So I don't care how long you've been in this truth. You're gonna have your senses exercised for you to be able to determine what's good and what's evil. All right.
Rightfully dividing the word of truth.
Yep. That's right. Rightfully divided. Yes, somebody get that. Yep. Not only what's good and what's right, what's good and what's evil in life, but what's good and what's the wrong breakdown in the scripture. You know? One second, bro.
This is the book of Second Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
Yep. You got to be a workman that's going to not be ashamed. See that? They finding out that they're unskillful. And it's going to really show once all the prophecies come to pass. You know, you got IUIC saying that the MOTB is not what it is. You know, you got GOCC saying that the tribulation already passed. And that Esau can make it. They're going to find out the hard way that they've been teaching in an unskillful manner. Right? And they're just babes. Right? So they got to what? Rightly divide the word of truth, deciphering what's good and what's wrong. You know? That was it on that? All right, go ahead.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 3 and verse 21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength.
Right, so once you're a babe in the truth, you know, you're going to kind of keep it simple, man. You know, you're going to teach certain doctrines just dealing with entry level. You know, keeping the laws to the best of your ability, study the laws the best you can. You know, so you get the basis of the stories. You're going to teach about the missiles, everything dealing with prophecy in the times we're in. Because most of the prophecies are past already. All right, so we're in the last hour. You know, so most of the prophecies are already passed. The last one that still got to come to play is what? Jacob's trouble, World War III, really Jacob's trouble, the MOTB, and then World War III. You know? That's it. So that was you should be teaching. That's what they should be teaching about. But you filter through these camps, they're not teaching that. One way or the other. And you're supposed to be calling on the Lord's name. That's prophesied in the scriptures too. So one way or the other, they going off according to that. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 22. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence. For it is not need for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret.
Right? So that deals with what? Faith. You know, we don't need to see it. We just believe in it before we see it. That's why we're able to come out here and speak it, man. That's what the prophets were set up for. All right?
You know, the reason I bring this scripture is going straight to those false leaders says Esau is going to be safe. You know, this is 2nd Ezra 16, 20. I'm going to start in 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth should perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger should the sword destroy.
I got too.
And the dead should be cast out as done, and there should be no man to comfort them. For the earth should be waste, and the city should be cast down.
All right, what's that? All right, so now that goes into what's that, Daniel? I think 12 with Michael. Michael standing up. Michael dead. Yep. Time of trouble. Got it. Yeah, man, that's what y'all were always just reading about. That's Jacob's trouble. It hasn't passed yet, man. You know? Go ahead.
The book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1.
Right, all hell about to break loose, man. There's a lot of death on this earth. There's already a lot of death. But it's going to be mass death all at once. I don't get it.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time.
Right, man. So what's that called? The time of Jacob's trouble. All right. Go ahead.
And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
At that time, that's when we're gonna be delivered. We gotta be tested first. What's that second? What's that? Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. Man, we gotta be tested first, man. The Most High is a great King. You know, if you're here on this earth, the only way you're gonna leave it is either through death or salvation. You know, so we gotta prepare ourselves to meet our Maker one way or the other, man.
All right, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
You gotta prepare yourself. Once you get into this truth, them demons gonna attack. You know, they just like the Lord told what was they told? Peter? He said the Lord, he told Peter, he said, let me get this.
Prepare thy soul for temptation.
He said, let me get this. Go ahead, read it.
All right, verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly do it, and make not haste in the time of trouble.
Right, man. So don't make haste in time of trouble. And that time of trouble is creeping up real fast. You know, so the Lord said, don't move in haste when all hell breaks loose. Or when shit goes haywire in your household. Don't move in haste and beat the hell out your woman and then go to jail. You know, you'll be no more use for the Father. Or be done murdered somebody. Or be done ran down to Egypt for help. And got what Biden pushed. All right, somebody grab Luke 22 and 31 because yeah, I got you, bro. All right, because the spiritual demon Satan and Esau desires to what? Let's get that same thing he said to Simon. We built upon that same foundation as Simon, Peter, the rock. You know, but Satan desires the same thing with us. Go ahead, brother. Same thing he desired with Job. He had to test Job. But what did he say about Job? Let's get that. Go ahead, brother.
This book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
There you go. You think Satan ain't desiring that with us today? He want to sift you out this truth. All right? So as soon as you come to serve the Lord, you got to prepare your heart, your mind, and your spirit, your soul for temptation. What's that? Trial, being tested, man. All right? That's right. So how do you prepare? You say what? Put on the whole arm of the Lord. You know? All right, but you got some,
All right, this is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking who he may devour. Son, and I brought that out to back up the elder, man. You know, these are the times that we coming in, man. You know, the times of Jacob's trouble is going to be the great trouble that never been before, ever since it's been the kingdom, man. So therefore, we got to continue to be spiritually sober. That's what he's talking about, staying grounded in the faith, you know what I'm saying, and continuing the things that we have been taught from the beginning, you know, and the Lord going to fight for us, man. All we got to do is keep our peace, man, and he's going to do the rest, hold our peace, and he's going to do the rest.
What? Prepare your soul for temptation, for trial. He said what? He said, Simon, Satan has desired to have you, sift you out this truth, man. That's what Esau was. That's what these devils want. That's what they're setting everything up against Jacob for. All right, they want their blessing back. They want to see Jacob fall. Right? He said the accuser of our brethren. They get our people to go off and then go complain to the Lord about it. That's right.
The whole prison camp for the so-called Negro Latinos, Native Americans,
What's up, brother? That's
are
right.
built around, man.
You got the
It's built around the falling of our people. You know, this whole system is built for us to go against our integrity, which is our laws, the law, statutes, and commandments written in the scriptures. That's how our so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American supposed to conduct themselves, man. Everything is in these scriptures, man. How we walk, how we supposed to walk, how we supposed to talk, you know, and the things that measure us to make sure we're lining up in the spirit. This is Zechariah 13:9. And he will bring them the third part through the fire, and he will refine them as silver is refined. And he will try them as gold is tried.
Oh,
They-
that's right. We're being tried right now. Come on, brother. So he said, what? The third part. What's that? The 1/3. The 144,000 and the 1/3. So you're going to be tried, man. We're going to be right here getting tried in the fire, in the adversity. All right. That's the best time for the Lord to show his strength. He said, my strength is made weakness. Made known in weakness. All right, go ahead, brother.
They shall call on my name, and I will hear them.
All right,
I will
so
say it is.
the elect, the elect are going to call on the Lord's name. IUIC. You know, you're going to be able to know the Lord's name. Where you at? Psalm? That's prophecy. They're going to call on the Lord's name in the last days. All right, go ahead. He
They will
said-
call on my name, and I shall hear them. And I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is my God.
There you go. That's not talking about all Israel. All right. Neither because they are born of Israel are they of Israel. All right. So he said that my people, that's going to be his sheep, his elect. That's right. My people hear my voice. That's right. Go ahead. Any precepts real quick? That's the spirit speaking real quick.
This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 9. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore.
Yeah, man, yeah. So his strength is sufficient for it. But he's showing us, he said he'll never put more on us than we can bear. So all we need is this word right now. That's our covering. He said, my strength. What did he say? Desire the sincere milk, and you may grow thereby. It's going to be strength to thy navel and help to thy bones. So this is our strength. All right? This is our strength. He said his strength is sufficient for us. That's all we need right now to battle these devils, to battle Satan, to battle the adversary. We don't need the guns to battle them. We need the word. Go ahead, brother. That's our strength.
He says, most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Yahweh Shah may rest upon me.
Right, man. So his strength is made known in weakness, man. All right? And we're in a weak state right now. The Lord called us a worm. You know, we can't fight our way out of a paper bag as a nation. All right, go ahead.
This is Psalm chapter 91, verse 14. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high because he hath known my name.
Right. Then he said, set your heart right. No, that's what he said in Sirach chapter 2. He said, set your heart right. How you do that? Read that part again, what?
Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him.
Right. Hey, sorry, can you get Proverbs 1? Right. So how do you set your love upon it? That's Proverbs 1. Right. Let's get it, Proverbs 1. Yeah, we get that.
This is Proverbs 1:1. The Proverbs of Solomon. Oh, sorry. The Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding.
Right, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding. Go ahead.
To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment in equity. To give subtlety to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. To understand a proverb in the interpretation, the word of the wise, the dark saying. The fear of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
Right? That's what the Lord wants. He wants you to fear him, man. You set your heart aright, meaning what? Setting your love on the Lord. All right. You know, and what's that? Psalms 91. You was just there, right? Yeah, you just read it. That was just read. It just jumped back. All right, I got it. Let's get this real quick. Yeah, because we was just reading that about Satan desiring to sift us out of the truth. So you got to fight hard. You got to have proper covering on. All right, let's get this real quick. Let's get Ephesians 6 and 11. Ephesians 6 and 11. Then we're going to go to Job chapter 1.
It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, start at verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
There you go, man. So other than that, you're walking around naked. You're walking around with no armor. You're not covered. All right, so our people, they pull off the robe from them that walk by securely. They pull off the cover instead of putting the covering on them. You know, if they had a little piece of covering on them, they take that last piece off. And our people walking fully naked. You know, unprepared for battle, unprepared for the war. Go ahead.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Right? That's why he said, "My strength is sufficient for you." That's all we need to battle, to fight this spiritual fight. All right, the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Israelites, but to fight this battle, Esau, the Caucasian race, they fought us with guns. And look what happened. They slaughtered us. But the Lord said we can fight them with our spiritual weapons. And it's enough. Faith at the size of the seed of a grain of a mustard seed going to defeat these people. Move the whole mountain. Right? Move the whole mountain. All right? Right.
This is First Peter chapter 2 and verse 5.
You have to wake up the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans to the fact that they Israelites in the Bible, right?
Ye also as lively stones.
Right, supposed to be lively stones, you know? Alive. Other than that, our people are dead. They got to wake up to the Father's name, Yahweh, and His Son named Yahushua. Go ahead.
Are built up a spiritual house.
Right, so we're being built up right now. All right? Built up a spiritual house. That's what we need to build. See that? To build a spiritual house, you ain't going to go find those damn stones over in Jerusalem. You know, and try to build with that. Like they call themselves building the third temple. This is building the temple right here through what? Edification. The word edification means to build. All right, so we're being built up a spiritual temple. Go ahead up.
A holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifice acceptable to God by Yahushua Mashiach.
Right. You know, you got idiots like ISUPK around the Passover. They go kill a lamb, you know, and sacrifice it, thinking the Lord going to accept that. You know, we rehearse the righteous acts, but you ain't got to go through all that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to slaughter a lamb. They don't even know if it's pure or not. We don't know if it's pure or not. We buy it on the shelf. All right, so the Lord ain't dealing with that, man. Oh, go ahead, brother. So we offer a spiritual sacrifice, man. Acceptable. This is acceptable to the Lord. All right.
This is John chapter 8, verse 44. You are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth.
There you go, man. You said the devil, right? Yeah, talking about Esau. All right. They were devils from the beginning, but the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were the Israelites of the Bible. God's chosen people. All right. He said, what? Our people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it, man. They feel like the Lord don't love them. They feel like, yo, why did we get put in this situation if the Lord loves us? Well, the Lord put us in this situation because we were being wicked. And He did it to perfect us. The same way you would chastise your child. Right? To discipline your child, man. But this is the Lord's discipline. Us going into slavery. He'll whip you with people. I'm gonna pick up a person and whip you. That's big. What you want? You pick up anything. That's most Most High, man. He picked up Esau. What is with him? Brother, give me. Get your wicked ass over there. Get your wicked ass over there. Right. So till this day, we have to be careful because Satan desires, the adversary to the truth desires to pull us away from the truth. All right. That's why you judge every tree by its fruit. All right. With the spirit of discernment. Go ahead. Yeah, sometimes. All right. Then we get precept upon precept.
All right, this is the book of Baruch, chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 6.
Right.
You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction.
Right. So we were sold to the nations, not for our destruction. Malachi. I think that is what Joe, Jacob had a love. Yep, that's right, man. You read that again for me?
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 6. Ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved Yahweh to wrath. Ye were delivered unto the enemies.
Oh, man, because we moved the Lord to wrath. All right, we were destroyed and delivered to our damn enemies. No, look at us in 70 AD. The Lord said we come a falling away. And that falling away, we went into slavery. And now we're coming out of that slavery. But not everybody. Some people are still in that, still got that Stockholm syndrome. Some people, a portion of Israel still want to go back into Egypt. All right, go ahead, Joel.
This is the book of Joel 2:32. And that should come to pass that whosoever should call on the name of the Lord, Jehovah Shai, should be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem should be deliverance.
There you go, not the whole world.
As the Lord, Jehovah Shai, has said, and in the remnant, whom the Lord should call.
There you go, in the remnant. So he's not calling everybody. You know, we're fishing for the elect. We're not fishing for the whole world. We're not fishing for all Israel. All right, he said, in the remnant, whom the Lord will call. He said, many are called, but few are chosen. All right, so there's many people called up. Just like you have a baby that's born, you're gonna have afterbirth, excess birth. That's what they represent, extras in the movie. All right, but the elect are the main character. Go ahead up.
Now, this is book of Romans 9:27. Isaiah also cried concerning Israel. Thou the number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea.
Right, the Lord kept his promise to Abraham. He's made us as the sand of the sea. We're all over the earth, man. We so scattered. We look like the other nations now. You know, go ahead.
A remnant should be saved.
Only a remnant gonna be saved, man. You know, 144,000 and 1/3 of the men, women, and children. You better pray that your name is written in their book of life. You know, just like me, I'm praying the same thing. You know, but yeah, that's another cut because you got these people like GOCC once again saying that that Esau can make it, and they're saying that we're not going to be here during the tribulation. But as we just read, we're going to be here and be tried. And you're going to call on the name of the Lord. And Esau is going to be judged within that. All right, look at this real quick. Revelation 21 and 10.
This is the book of Revelation 21:10.
Oh, 21 and 9.
21:9. And there came unto me one of the seven angels, which hath the seven filled full of the seven last plague.
There you go, right? These are the last prophecies, man, of the Bible. Go ahead.
And talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the breach, the lamb wife.
The bride.
The bride.
Okay.
I will shoot thee, the bride, the lamb wife.
Right, so who's the bride? Is it all Israel? No. The bride, is it Esau? No. Is the bride the Caucasian race? No. Who's the bride? The bride is the elect of Israel. All right? That's it. The bride is the elect. That's the woman. Spoken of in Song of Solomon as well. All right? That's the bride. It's not all Israel. It's the elect. All right, go ahead. Keep going.
Number 10.
Right, so let's see if Esau is in this number. You didn't hear Esau yet.
Revelation 21:10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain.
Right, go ahead.
And
Right, because the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans got the real defense to be the Israelites of the Bible.
and showed me that the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of the heaven.
Right,
From-
so first the elect gonna get taken up into the chariots, and then they're gonna be brought down from the chariots back to the earth. All right.
From Yahweh Shai. Number 11, having the glory of Yahweh Shai.
So this is after the elect get glorified, man. This is about to happen. This is reality. It's not like it's just talking. You know, all the prophecies are coming to pass, man. So this got to happen too. If you in that number, he's talking about you being glorified, man. For eternity. We don't even know what that's gonna be like. All right. He said this life and this flesh is gonna be like a nightmare or a memory. You're gonna be trying like, yo, you remember when we was in those bodies? It's gonna be like a memory. That's it. You're gonna try to feel it, but you can't. I remember that, but that's it. That's the most you're gonna be able to do. Just like now, we could think of the kingdom, but it's gonna be a reality. It's gonna be flipped. All right, go ahead.
And her light was like unto a stone, most precious.
Right. So her light is a light, right?
Light.
That light represents the Holy Spirit, meaning being pure, giving pure truth, being made perfect. That's glorified. Go ahead.
Even like a jasper stone.
Right. That's a clear stone. That's like basically represents wisdom. Right. Meaning plain truth, man. Go ahead, brother.
Clear as a crystal.
Clear, man. Go ahead.
Number 12, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gate 12 angels.
Right. So there are 12 gates, 12 angels, and the scriptures say that Yahweh Shai stands behind our wall, and he's on our side. All right. He's one of our people. He's from the tribe of Judah, a so-called Negro. Go ahead. So let's see if Esau's in this number once again.
And names written thereon,
So there were 12 gates. Right? Entering into heaven. Go ahead.
which are the name of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Right. So there 13 tribes? 14 tribes? No, it's talking about the 12 tribes of Israel. And the only ones that have access to enter into the gates are the elect of Israel. All right? Small remnant, as we just read. You know? So Esau is written nowhere in that. And that's in Revelation.
The revealing.
New Testament.
Last book.
Last book. That's right. Last prophecy. You know? So look at I'm gonna go to Job. What was that? 8:1, I think it was. Job 1 and 7.
All right, this is the book of Job, chapter 1,
Verse 6.
verse 6.
Right, because remember, Satan desires to sift you out like wheat. So you gotta be secure. You gotta be covered, man. Don't have no chinks in your armor.
Now, there was a day when the sons of Yahweh came to present themselves before the Lord.
Right. So even the spiritual demon Satan is a child of the Most High. Go ahead.
And Satan came among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Right. What did he say? He said, your adversary, the devil, seeketh whom he may devour, like a roaring lion. All right. And that's what the spiritual demon Satan is doing through these damn Edomites, seeking whom they can devour, being influenced by demons. That's what they're doing to try to get us to go off. All right. They'll put pork in your damn vitamins. You know, they'll put low prices on all the abominable foods. You know, they'll tell you got to cut your beard to go work at their job. They'll force a mandate on you. That's the end all be all. See, they can throw all these wiles of the devil. You know, they can throw all these fiery darts at you. But the Lord said He's gonna quench those darts. All right. But now they got this one where they bringing in the MOTB. That's the test, man. That's the trial. That's the temptation that's gonna come upon the whole world. Because they got rights here in America. You can say, well, I don't want to cut my beard. I'm an Israelite. I don't eat pork. I'm not going to eat pork, you know? But what happens when they come up to you, present you with death or imprisonment or being homeless or threaten your family to separate you and your family? That's a test. All right? Go ahead, brother.
And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and in a upright man, one that feareth Yahweh, and it eschewed,
So
it showed,
he eschewed evil.
and he eschewed evil.
Right, so Job, he basically stayed away from wickedness, all right? So he was telling the devil, hey, try my servant Job. So who's Job today? The word Job means hated. So who's hated out here? The children of Israel, the elect. So that's who's being tried. That's why the Lord said what? The axe is laid to the root of the tree. All right? Because the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans about the world. You know, they gotta be known. And Christopher Reeve going into slavery. Their version of Superman. All right? So yeah, man, right, because Job was tried. But the Lord said, yeah, try my servant Job. So now in these times, the Most High saying, yeah, try my servant that are hated. The ones that are really out there doing the work. So you're going to be tested. You're going to go through trials, man. All right, tribulation. Go ahead, out. But use the word as our light to guide us through. He said, the word is light to my path. I got that. A light to my path. Oh, you got one. Huh? Okay. Oh, let's go a little bit more.
All right, this is back in the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 9. Then Satan answered the Lord.
Right, America about to be destroyed, man. Sodom and Gomorrah all over again. Right,
And said, do Job fear the Most High for naught? Has not thou made a hedge about him?
right, so now we have the hedge, man. The Hawashah is our hedge about it. See that? So that's what you got to have faith in. All right, go ahead.
And about his house, and about all that he have on every side.
Right. So you got to think about that. You got to think about people like Lot. You got to think about Noah. The Lord delivered Noah and his household. All right. He's going to put a hedge around you. So that's why he said, put on the whole armor of the Lord. And that hedge is your Hawashah. All right. That's your exemption from judgment. All right. Go ahead.
Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thy hand now, and touch all that he have, and he will curse thee to thy face.
There you go. And that's what a lot of people are going to do, and they're already doing. You know, you're frustrating the Lord, you're crucifying him afresh, and you go down to Egypt for help. You know? When they start calling on these false names, talking about Jesus, you discredit the name of the Lord, Yahweh. You know, I'm saying that we keep the laws perfectly. You discredit the Lord's sacrifice for our sins. Saying that we're a sinful nation. You want to keep the laws to the best of your ability, but you don't want to boast in the law. All right, look at the
Can't read that.
Psalms 119 and 105. The word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path.
Right.
Basically, that's and what is that? That's Yahweh. He's a light unto a lamp unto our feet, a light to our path. He's a light to man, according to John chapter 1.
Right, it's like a guide.
Huh.
He's our guide. He's the footsteps that are there before us for us to follow. You know, he already walked in the steps.
But like, you know how you say when you walk through the wilderness, you need the marker so you know where you're going?
Right.
He's the marker.
Right, man. That's right. He's the marker. He's the mark the exemption that was placed on the trees for us to follow the path by the prophets of old. You know, they have walked this path before us as well, the foundation. All right. Yeah, Mark 4 and 11. And get the you got a precept? Go ahead. Bring it up real quick.
This is Psalms 33 and 11. The counsel of Yahweh standeth forever. The thoughts of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, and the people whom he hath chosen for his own inheritance.
All right. So blessed is that nation. That's why he said, "In Abraham shall all the nations of the earth be blessed." What nations that talking about? The nations of Israel. All right, and Yahushua is that blessing. Okay, we're blessed through Yahushua. All right. So if you don't know who Yahushua is, or to call on him, and you're not an Israelite, you're not blessed. All right. Let's get no, 1 second. Let me get Mark 4 and 11. And Romans 11 again.
This is Mark 4 and 11. And he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mysteries of the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables.
There you go, man. So all these things are written in parables to them. A parable is what? A simile, a riddle. You know, a mystery, a dark saying that they cannot understand. But to us it's made plain. All right? Yeah, so that's the mystery. You know? And that goes back into Revelations being written like a puzzle. You know, got that precept? Precept? Oh, you had something. No, Z. All right, just real quick, my bad. All right, because the Revelations is put together like a puzzle. Again, that's why he said, write the things which you have already seen and know of, and write the things that you see, and write the things that's going to happen in the future. And he was giving the visions not in order. All right, go ahead, brother.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
All right, man. So that's what creates the doctrine. All right, here a little and there a little. You can read the book like a storybook to get the basis of the understanding and the history. But then you got it in the laws, you know, and the prophecies. But then you got to piece them together like a puzzle. All right. So all throughout Revelation, you can piece them together to understand who the dragon is, to understand who the whore of Babylon is. Right?
This is the book of 2 Timothy 3 and 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of God, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and is perfectible for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness.
There you go. So all this is given by inspiration of the Lord. All right. Right. And in the Wisdom of Solomon, I think it's 7. It says, "Spirit of wisdom is a pure influence flowing from the Most High, and is an image of His goodness." So what the brother just read, he said, "What? All Scripture is by inspiration of the Most High." So He got to inspire you to do this work, to do it correctly, and it's profitable for what? Correction, to be reproved, and everything, man. But 2/3 of our people don't want to be reproved, and they don't want to come to the light. But they got to change their ways, man. All right, that's called being stuck in their ways. And ultimately, they're going to be stuck in destruction. All right, because America's about to be destroyed. You know, it's about to happen. You know, thermonuclear fire. It's time to repent. The Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're God's chosen people. You know, the Most High's true name is Yahweh. His son named Yahushua. Go ahead.
This is John chapter 3, verse 19. Verse 18. He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yahweh. And this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world. And men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil.
They're by their own shadow. In their own way, man.
And I'm just bringing it out to back up what the elder was saying, man. All right, if nobody wants to turn to the light because they're gonna have to change themselves. All right, so that's why they're gonna be numbered to the sword. They're gonna be left there for destruction.
All right, let me read this real quick. 1 Timothy 5 and 6. Think about the women, right? But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Hand in hand, you got the men, the brother reading about, and you got the women as well. You know, choosing darkness rather than light. All right? So they're living in it.
John 3 and 20. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought of Yahweh. And that's bottom line what it is. So the ones that we were all once out here in darkness at one point in time. But when we seen that beacon of light, what did we do? Well, we halt in our tracks. He said, you shall see hear a word behind you saying, this is the way, walk ye therein it. What did we do? We turned back towards the light and started walking towards the light. And guess what? The more the light shined upon us, the more we saw that we were embedded in wickedness, we started to reprove ourselves. That's what the light is for you to shine the light upon yourself, right? Shine the light upon yourself, you fix yourself. Once you start to correct yourself, then you can shine the light. Because you will become that light. You don't have to shine it because you become that light, and it shines upon everybody else, and you can help them do the same thing, man. But if you want to be a part of darkness, you're gonna what? Help everybody become dark. Follow a multitude of do evil.
This is the book of Job 12, 22 and 23. He discovered the deep things out of darkness and bringeth out to light the shadow of death. He increased the nation and destroyed them. He enlarged the nation and strengthened them again.
All right, what nation is he enlarging and strengthening again right now? The children of Israel, man. Again, he said, read that first part again.
He discovered deep things out of darkness and bringeth out to light the shadow of death.
All right, bring it stuff the deep things of darkness, bring it out to the light and bring it out of the shadow of death. Where's the shadow of death, man? Right here in America. All right, so now he's bringing us out of darkness into the light, man. And that's the whole sole purpose of Yahweh Shai being that beacon of light, showing us how we're afflicting ourselves, so we can turn back to the Father, man. Showing us what we need to do to turn back to the Father.
This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light shine so before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
And that's the point. Let the light shine among men. All right, so you can glorify your Father in heaven. How are you gonna glorify him if you don't know his name? Who are you glorifying? That's the book of Hosea will tell you that's what put us in this position. And he said he'll take the names of these other gods out of our mouth. So he's just gonna take those names out of our mouth and put nothing in there to replace it. No, he's gonna put his true name there to replace it. What did he say? He said, I shall leave in the midst of poor and afflicted people, and they shall call upon the name of the Yahweh Shem Yahweh.
Let's get Romans 11 real quick. No.
This is Psalms 23, verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
Right, that was originally spoken. Where you at, Psalm? Yes. That was originally spoken by King David. All
For
right.
thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over.
Right, that's right, man. So, where you at again?
Psalms 20.
Yeah, he said the valley of the shadow of death, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's right here, America. America is that valley. All right, and he anoints our head with oil, and our cup runneth over, man. The more you into this truth. All right, that's right. The more you study, that means the Lord gonna give this wisdom to you abundantly. You know, and that's right. That was King David talking. He really walked through a physical valley of death, where the Philistines used to kill children at. America's that place too. So he was walking through seeing dead bones, and there was a shadow literally that faced in that valley. And he had walked through there fleeing from his son Absalom. All right, he wrote that precept. So now we walking in those same shoes to this valley of death.
If we just can't, we see the dead bodies walking, standing around, walking around, being in folly.
Right.
Imagine we can see the amount of physical dead bodies that were killed in this place with Planned Parenthood and things like that.
Shit.
You know?
And spiritually dead.
Huh.
We walking amongst the spiritually dead, man. Go ahead up.
Book of Isaiah 11 from the top. No, number 2. And the Spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, should rest upon him. The Spirit of wisdom and understanding. The Spirit of counsel and might. The Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Shai. And should make him equipped of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he should not judge after the sight of his eye, neither reprove after the hearing of his ear.
And that's talking about the deliverance of the children of Israel being sent, that enzyme being sent, being Yahweh Shai, the root of Jesse, all right, which shall stand for an enzyme for the people, man. So it shall the Gentiles seek. What Gentiles? The ones that are in the Gentile state of mind that were walking around dead like zombies at one point in time, but got life put into them by the Spirit of Yahweh Shai. Romans 11 and 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. As it is written, Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day.
Good, man. All right.
Oh, keep going. Verse 9. And David saith, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their backs always. So the Lord is going to keep them in that spirit of derision all the way to the end. All right, and then what does he say he's going to do? He said he shall laugh when their fear comes upon them. Right, when their fear starts to come upon them, he said then they will try to seek him early, but he's not going to be found in them. All right, so you're supposed to be fearing right now. And it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Right? But fools despise wisdom, especially the ones of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They despise wisdom, man. Unless it's coming from a pale face.
This is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel do not know, my people do not consider.
They don't know, like our people don't know who their shepherd is, man. We are sent out here by their shepherd, but the shepherd is doing that herding call, and our people are not coming. They're not coming to the flock. They're running behind another shepherd, the shepherd that's herding the goats. All right, Esau. That's what they're running after. That shepherd. He's herding goats over there. The sheep belong over here on this side, inside the temple. But if the things that are outside the temple measure it not, because it is given unto the Gentiles. So that's why 2/3 of our people are still in that Gentile state of mind, man. Because they want to follow after their father, the devil.
Verse 4. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers.
If you know you're laden with iniquity, right? And you want out of that thick debt. That's a form of debt. You're indebted to the Lord, man. You gotta pay that. What is the wages of sin? Death. All right, you gotta pay that. Ultimately, Yahweh Shai paid that debt for his elect. All right, so we don't owe that. We don't owe that to Yahweh anymore because we're falling behind the Lamb, and He paid that debt for us. But everybody else outside the temple that wants to cover themselves without a covering of Yahweh Shai, they're gonna be numbered to destruction, man. That's gonna be their reproof, man.
They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backwards.
Gone away backwards. Meaning they're going away from the light, not to the light. So that's going to lead them to their destruction, man.
Oh yeah. Somebody read Romans 11:7 already. Peter stumbled. Now that back all the way. Back up, man. All right. Look at Habakkuk 2:2. Habakkuk 2 and 2, Proverbs 8.
This is book of Habakkuk 2 and 2. And the Lord answered me and say, write the vision and make it plain upon table.
Right, so write the vision, but make it plain. Not adding in stuff, not making giving off an uncertain sound. Somebody know what that's at? Something to give an uncertain sound. That's right. So it's supposed to be plain. That means to be what? Crystal clear. Like the brother y'all were all read earlier. Clear as crystal. So you're supposed to make this truth plain before everybody, man. No private interpretation. All right, go ahead.
That he may run, that write it. Oh, read it.
That he may run that readeth it, right? What is this? This is a race. But he said what? Those that run, they run with all. But they gotta what? They gotta run righteously, man. All right? They gotta do it righteously, man, doing it according to the rules. You know, not adding in their vain thinking, man. Vain jangling. Like Tazariak, ISUPK, saying that the MOTP is just a embargo. That's what Johanna teach, calling themselves a general, calling themselves killers. We are killers.
It's called Sergeant Slaughter. He slaughtered our people.
Yeah, yeah.
Killing our people.
That's correct. They killers until Esau show up. Right,
All right, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, in verse 8. For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? Start at 6. All right, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, and I'm going to start at 6. Now, brethren, if I come unto you speaking with tongues, what shall I profit you, except I shall speak to you either by revelation or by knowledge or by prophesying?
Right, so yep. There you go. There go Revelation. Yep. You're supposed to be speaking the revelation. What does the word revelation mean? To reveal. You're supposed to be speaking the things that were revealed to people like John the Revelator. You're supposed to speak it what? Plainly. All right? And write it upon tables. It's been written upon the tables, and we're the ones that's running in the race. Go ahead.
Or by doctrine.
Right, so you're supposed to speak by revelation and by doctrine, right? Have the same doctrine. And you're supposed to do it plainly, man.
And even things without life giving sound, whether pipe or harp.
Right, just like an instrument, man. You got a band or orchestra with instruments, and this and what's that guy named? The conductor, Yahweh Shai would be the conductor, and he said to do it this way, and then the trumpet play what the hell they want to play. They're playing Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. And the motherfucker jump off, start playing Boys and Men.
Itself, they give a distinction in the sound. How shall it be known what is pipe or harp?
You gotta be very distinct doctrine, distinct revelation. What was the other word? Revelation, doctrine, prophecy, and prophecy. So all those have to be distinct, precise, and clear. All right.
To go into that, a conductor, he'll have everybody play one note, and he can sing. A real trained conductor can single out one person that's off. He's like, nope, something's off, and they'll go right to that person. Like, no, you go off.
Right, man. It's like a choir.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound,
Right.
who's
Another uncertain sound is saying that Esau is not going into slavery when they are. Right? They got to know who they are too. The biblical Edomites are the Caucasian race. Right? Just like we're not Hebrews, we're really Israelites. Right? From the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Reuben, Gad, Naphtali, Asher, Manasseh, and Issachar. All right, Negroes, West Indians, Haitians, Dominicans, Guatemalans, Puerto Ricans, Panamanians, Seminole Indians, North American Indians, Argentinians, Chileans, Colombians, Uruguayans, Cubans, Mexicans, and the rest of our Israelite brothers and sisters that are scattered amongst other nations, looking like that. Like 18 nations.
These number 2 all the way down, heathens.
Right.
Yes.
Bring out you do
Yeah,
know what it is.
heathens.
yeah, it's called heathen.
Heathendom.
Yeah, and we actually we're scattered amongst these people too.
Time.
All right. That shows you all the places where we've been scattered. You know? But heathendom, the word heathendom means world. The word dome at the end means world. So the world of the heathens. All right. We got the cosmos, the world of the elect of Israel. You got also the heathendom, the world of the heathens. Go ahead.
All right, this is back at the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14. I'm gonna start at the top of 8 again. For if the trumpet give in a certain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle?
Right, there you go, man. There go that battle again. You know, there go that battle. We fight against what? Spiritual wickedness in high places. So how can you fight against Esau and spiritual wickedness on the left hand side if they're not prepared for it? They go out there and flip flop trying to fight a whole army of Vikings. Vikings right had a
They prepared. Vikings prepared with them.
Oh, yeah. Shit out of Esau.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's like showing up to a fight, but bringing a knife to a gunfight. Yeah.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 4 and 2. Ye should not add unto the word which I command you, neither should ye diminish out from it, that ye might keep the commandment of the Lord Jehovah Shai, your God, which I command you.
Huh, so you don't add perverse things to the word of Yahweh Shem Shai, like saying Esau can make. You don't take things away from the word of Yahweh Shem Shai, like the name. You get what I'm saying? So those are the things. So you're gonna get judgment because of that. And all your followers that are following behind you, because of your perverse doctrine that you bring forth, their hypocrisy, they're gonna be destroyed, and their blood is gonna be on your hands. So you're gonna get a worse destruction than they got.
Hey, Revelations chapter 12, verse 18. For I testify unto every man that hears the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
So Yahweh Shai is coming to deliver us from those plagues that's written in the book, but
Add to it.
you're gonna be added to these plagues.
Yeah, he's gonna add the plagues to them.
Good.
He said they're gonna cleave unto you.
Damn.
He said he's gonna make the plagues cleave unto the people.
Like that little joke where the dude like got the paper clip on the end of a string, and on the end of the string is a fake snake, and he clipped it to people like belt loops and purses and stuff, so they run around trying to get the shit off, but the shit steady following them wherever they go. That's how them plagues gonna cleave unto these wicked ass individuals teaching the first doctrine.
Right, man. That's Final Destination.
Gone.
Final destination is destruction.
Right. It says, and if any man will take away from the words of this book, of this prophecy, Yahweh shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book, man. So yeah, man. So the Lord gonna add the plagues to them if they add unto it. If you take away from this book, you know, try to say I'm gonna hide this part because I don't want to offend nobody. You know, Esau can be saved. I'm not gonna talk about the destruction and them going to slavery. I'm gonna hide his name. His name don't matter. You see what I'm saying? So you take it away from the book, saying that the MOTV, you know, is not what it is. All right. Anybody got a precept? Go ahead, real quick. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, starting at verse 8. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing forward or perverse in them. Right, so it's all about the words of his mouth. Who's his mouth? Yahweh Shai, which was what? The mouth represents the circle. All right. He said, you out of my mouth. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know where to think. I just gonna spew. That's what they pop in my head.
Right. This is
Right, go ahead.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would that thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
There you go, man. All right, so the Lord gonna kick you out of that circle. And what he's saying, Amos chapter 9, look, he's I think talking about. Like, Amos chapter 9, he said gonna close up the breaches thereof. What's that? Make it come full circle. He's gonna close out anybody that's not supposed to be part of that circle. All right? Sort of like the Knights of the Round Table. You know, you're not in the circle. You know, Esau like making their own circle at work. All right, so let's get this real quick. Ezekiel 3 and 17. Yep, Ezekiel 3 and 17.
Book of Ezekiel 3 and 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman to the house of Israel. Therefore,
So again, like that. But first, he said, what? Wait on your ministry. He also said, prepare your soul for temptation, for trials. But then he says, what? I have made you a watchman. So you got to watch the prophecies. You got to watch what's going on in the world. You got to warn the people. Go ahead.
therefore, hear the word at me, at my mouth, and give them warning from me.
Right, so who we hear the word from? We hear the word from the prophets. All right, just like people hearing it from us today, we hear it from our elders. All right, we hear it from other actors, you know, and that's just it. So he said, hear the word in my mouth. That's the mouth. That's the inner circle. All right, that's why Apostle Gabar always says that. He always say this thing about it. Okay, so he said what? He said he's gonna spew. He's gonna spew the hirelings out of his mouth. The ones that are playing both sides. You know, not making up their mind yet. You know, saying I'm gonna turn to the Lord, but they putting it off day by day. The Lord gonna spew them out. All right. Somebody was reading about the mouth. I stopped you. That was you, I think.
Proverbs 8 and 8.
Yep. Proverbs 8 and 8, always not.
It's back at the book of Proverbs, chapter 8 and verse 8. All the words of my mouth are in righteousness. There is nothing forward or perverse in them. They are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge.
There you go, man. All right. So the words of his mouth are pure, right? That's right. Are pure words, man. All right. So that's what it's about. You know, what was the last part of verse 9?
And it says, verse 9, they are all plain to him that understandeth, and right to them that find knowledge.
There you go, man. So they are plain. It's plain to the ones that can understand. But somebody else, they'll read Revelations and they'll be a stumbling block to them. All right? But it's plain, crystal clear to the hopeful elect.
Clear as crystal.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Mashiach, and shall deceive many. All right, so we got leaders accounts, not GMS, IUIC, individual lights. We got anybody out here, they'll follow after anybody but the Most High. Some people think they the Most High. Like IUIC, Nate, he think he the Most High. He want people worshiping him. But anyways, we're supposed to seek after the Most High. We're not supposed to seek after these leaders. That's what we fell off again. We want something we can see. We're not supposed to go after what we can see. The things not seen are really the things that are seen. So we're supposed to look for the Most High and have faith that he exists and he will deliver us. Not Nate telling us we can wear purple, pop out, and do what I say you do, and you all right. That's not going to get us nowhere.
He can't even save himself. Talking about saving everybody else. And I don't know if this is true or not, but someone said that he on bed rest for a little minute and can't really shake nothing. But just like how the brother said, the things that are not seen. Because what is faith? Faith is the evidence of the evidence of things searched for. Somebody get it real quick. Yeah, Hebrews 12:1 or 11:1. Yeah. Bring it up.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for.
No Blanco. Go ahead.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
It's evidence of things not seen. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I'm gonna tell you the most beautiful thing in the world. So it wasn't maybe about, let's say, 75 to 100 years ago, we weren't even allowed to read books. All right, let alone the Bible. Right. All right. Now let's move forward. 60 years ago, we weren't allowed to be out in public congregating like this. All right. That's the evidence of the existence of the Lord right here. Seeing men standing up in great boldness in the face of their oppressors in the span of 100 years. That's not a long time. That's the evidence of things hoped for. That's what faith is. All right. So now this is faith that gets us standing out here in the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Now, faith boosters. The prophecies come to pass. The things that we are speaking out of our mouths through the spirit, being the voice of the Lord, coming to pass, right? Not only right in front of other people's eyes that believe, but in front of our eyes also, who are trying to convince them to believe. Because what does the scripture say? I shall give you a mouth of wisdom that the enemies cannot gainsay nor resist. So it's a spiritual battle. You got something you want to say, bro? Oh, okay, go ahead.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, starting at verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
They're afflicted of and made no account for our labors. Because if we talk about these things that happened to us during the time of slavery, they don't want to make no account for that. This is what built America today. You wouldn't have the luxurious, lavish lifestyle in America if it wasn't for us going through this. So we had to make this sacrifice for y'all to live good and lavish. Y'all living good right now. So at the end of the day, all right, now we're standing in great boldness in the face of our oppressors that afflicted us and made no account for our labor. All right, so we didn't get our 40 acres of mule, but according to Revelation, this is what we got. According to Revelation chapter 11, verse 8, then the spirit of life had entered into them, and they stood up a great exceeding army. I'm going to read that again.
Back at Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
Now, we standing with a gun? No, we're standing with a sword of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're standing with this book that they didn't want us to read. We're standing with the same book that we used to get hung and licked for even looking at. You better not recite any of these scriptures out of here, or only recite the ones that we want you to quote and teach them to your people. All right? Keep them at bay. Keep them calm down. But what happened though? The Lord said, yeah, you can go ahead and do that, but I'm gonna lift up their spirit. I'm gonna make them rise up as a nation, as a people. And I'm gonna take a small number of my elect, and I'm gonna destroy this kingdom of Babylon built up by Edom. That's us standing in great boldness in the face of our oppressors. That's what's bringing that fear upon them. Some more on that.
Verse 2. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5 and verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for.
All right, so now I was rub-bubbing last night, and I was going into the neighborhood. I went to the neighborhood Washington Heights. I used to live out there, and I used to live right next door to there in Secret Village. I lived in these places, man. Now, if you want to see some zombies, go out there, because the messed up, they're content with that lifestyle and that way of living. They're content with that way of life. They're content with that thought process, man. All right, so now those are the Esau. No matter how many, you can have thousands of guns in there, thousands of drugs, and all the money in the world. Esau's not scared of that because he know that they're content with that way of living. This is what he has a problem with. That's why they want to call us Black Hebrew Israelites. We're trying to say we're void, without understanding, without learning. No, we're the two ones that have understanding. That's trying to call evil good and good evil. That's why he wants to say we're dark and perverse. Go ahead.
Verse 3 of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision.
Boom, sometimes in derision. Now he wanted all of us like that in that state of mind. Now remember the movie The Ants, where they let that one ant speak out a slide, and and how the head grasshopper, like, bro, you can't let that happen. Oh, it's just one little one. He said that one little one can influence the rest of them to rebel, man. So all it takes is one of us to ignite it. Abba Bivens ignited it, man. John, that was Elijah coming back in the flesh. That as was prophesied by Yahweh by Shah. All right, our Messiah prophet prophesied for Elijah to come back. All right, and then they asked about Elijah to come back. He said Elijah has come and he will surely come. So he said Elijah has came and he will come again. And he came, and that's how you see us up here today. Go ahead.
Wisdom of Solomon 5:4. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. Wisdom of Solomon 5:4. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor.
Boom. And that's how 2/3 of our people thought with Yahweh, man. They called it they had thought his end to be without honor. But then as soon as he gave up the ghost, a massive earthquake came over. And a couple of them said he was the Son of God. But it's too late now. Judgment is already done, man. And that's the same thing they're saying about elect today. All right? That's what they're going to be saying when we're being lifted up in those chariots.
This is Romans chapter 8, verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
All right, so in actuality, even though that was heinous that happened to our people, that was really a cakewalk. All right, compared to what happened to Yahweh Shai, man, that was really a cakewalk. But guess what? They said that ain't gonna happen again. All right, the Lord's gonna make sure of that, man. He pulled out. Our punishment is over. Now it's time for that cup to be passed on over to them. So the Lord's gonna pass that cup over to them because the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans need to understand that we're the children of Israel, man. We're not Negroes. We're not black. Black means void of understanding. Black means dark. Black means wicked. All right, we're not black. Go ahead on down the street today for you. All right, bring it out.
Genesis 49:9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art grown up. Stoop down. He crouches as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
So see, that individuals like that still want us to be that crouching lion. But now Judah is rising up, and the rest of the 12 tribes of Israel are risen up. All right, so that's why she has something to say, because I was directed to our people. She wanted to try to interrupt that, but our people ain't listening anyway, man. All right, so this ain't for them. They want Judah to be like a lion's whelp, an old crouched over lion. But now we're risen up, standing in great boldness in the face of our oppression. All right, gotta put this out. All right, go ahead, bring it up.
This is the book of Revelation 3:15 and 16. I know thy work, that thou art neither cool nor hot. I will thou were cool or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spoil thee out of my mouth.
So the Lord says you're neither cold nor hot. What is he gonna do with you? If you ain't hot for the truth, all right, what is he gonna do with you, man? He gonna spew you out of his mouth, man. He says no need. You sitting back behind a computer all day, thumb thugging, leaving comments on the comment board, but you ain't trying to prophesy and do nothing. You ain't trying to fight for what you believe in. You ain't doing none of that. But you feel like you're a man of the Lord? Nah, it don't work like that, man.
All right, this is the book of St. John, chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 22. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews.
See that Edomite thought she could come over here and put her little 2 cents in. We know what we worship. We worship Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right?
But the hour cometh, and now is, then the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth.
So you got to worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Anybody trying to do this carnally, you're not going to make it. All right? You got to do it according to the Spirit. So real quick, hold that point. Somebody get Isaiah 34:16. All right? All right? You got to worship the Father in spirit and in truth. All right? So what is that? That's the Holy Spirit, man. Where did that come from? Came out of from the throne of Yahweh unto the Lamb. Go ahead, bring it out.
This is Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and read.
So how's that spirit ignited? All right, through the book of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and read. All right, go ahead.
No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate.
None of these shall fail. None of these prophecies are going to fail, man. None shall want her mate. Go ahead.
For my mouth have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered me. Gathered them.
His mouth has commanded, all right? The Lord, the Most High, Yahweh commanded, and now he's sending that to that command unto his prophets. They have commanded. And guess what? Those words that those prophets are speaking out of their mouths, right, has gathered them through the spirit of Yahweh by Shema.
Spirit gathering us.
Done. Done.
They're not gonna come back on the word.
Done.
Psalms 91, Psalms 119 and 2. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with the whole heart. You can't come to the Lord with a half mind or a double mind. He says, seek him with your whole, with your whole heart. All right. And blessed are they that keep his testimony. What was the testimony? People like Paul. He had the testimony of Yahushua. All right. So, and also what? What's the spirit of the Lord? Somebody get that? Yeah. So, all right, those that keep his testimony. And one of those testimonies is what? About Yahushua. What Yahushua came to testify to us about. What did he testify to us? He told us about everything the Father told him. You know, thank you. Go out, bro.
You got that revelation? All right, I'm going to get something else.
All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 19, and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy.
The testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. The angel said, he bowed down and worshiped the angel. The angel said, see thou do it not. We're talking about an angel that sits in the heavens in the scripture realm with Yahweh Shai. When he came out here to this realm, he said, I am thy fellow servant, thy brethren, man. Having the testimony of Yahweh Shai. All right, that testimony is given unto us. All right, so we are also servants, but from servants we became friends. All right. This is John chapter 15, verse 14. 13. It says, greater love have no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. All right, this is Yahweh Shai speaking. Ye are my friends if you do whatsoever I command you. And one of those commandments is for us to come out here and teach on the highways and byways. What? With the spirit of prophecy, man. The spirit of Yahweh Shai. Verse 15. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. So, Apostle Gabar had made a video, a lesson talking about everybody's a servant of Yahweh, whether you're good or bad. But everybody's going to be a servant, but who are his friends? There's a distinction between the two, because can't nobody help but to serve the Lord, because he has control over everything. All right? It says, henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. So that's a testimony, man. That's the spirit that was placed in his elect.
Right. Psalms 119 and 2 again. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies. And the word keep goes back into the Hebrew word shamar, which means to guard or watch over, you know. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with the whole heart. All right, so you got to seek the Lord with your whole heart, man. Get them on tape. Oh. Staring like some zombies, boy. Scary movie.
Yeah. They scared.
They got demons on them, man. All right, so where we at? Let's get this real quick. Somebody grab Psalms 34 and 18. 34, 18. Go ahead, good boy.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119, starting at verse 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereunto according to thy word. With my whole heart have I sought thee. Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments. And I just brought that out to back up the precept the elder was just speaking on. Basically seeking the Lord with your whole heart. That's how you cleanse your way.
Right. And yeah, Psalms 34 and 18 and Psalms 51 and 17.
This is Psalm 34, verse 16. The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off remembrance of them from the earth.
Oh, he'll cut you off from the earth, man. He'll cut off your remembrance from the earth. But he said the men of the Lord, their works are going to follow them. The Most High's name is Yahweh, and his son named Yahushua. Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, we're God's chosen people. This is great. We about to get the kingdom, man. All right. I can tell that brother on the hair, man. He got that. He got Eve on him. Yeah, pulling him like a locomotive. Tugboat. All right. You was reading? Can you read that again?
Psalm 34, verse 16.
Right. The Most High is the so-called black man, and his son is the so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. All right. The Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans are the Israelites of the Bible. Right.
The face of the Lord is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth.
Right. And it's really talking about Esau. Right. They're going to be cut off from the face of the earth. Forever. Yeah, he's against them. Okay, go ahead.
The righteous cry, and the Lord hears and delivers them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh until them that are of broken heart.
There you go. They're going to be broken. But he's nigh unto us, man. We were broken as a nation. All right? But he's nigh unto us. Go ahead.
Save such as be of a contrite spirit.
Contrite?
And Savior such as be of contrite spirit.
Right, what's contrite? 51 17. 51 17. It's a contrite. All right, so this contrite right here, it says to collapse, to be crushed. Basically humble, man. To be crushed to pieces mentally. All right. Basically not being hard-headed. A head of stone. So the Lord said he's going to take away that stony heart and give us a heart of flesh. So they got people head as hard as a rock. Now the Lord said, you got to break that up.
That's why in the military, that's why they do all that yelling and boot camp and stuff like that. They break them down mentally and physically, so that way they can build them back up.
Sometimes you got to destroy in order to rebuild. That's what the Lord did with the nation of Israel. It's a beautiful process to perfect us and to set in order the first fruits, man, of our nation. And if 144,000 and 1/3 make it, all of Israel makes it. Later on, All right, so we don't lose as a nation as long as we're in this truth. Go ahead, up.
This is 1 Corinthians 12, 8, 9. This is how the Most High Yahweh Bashan Yahushai work in the elect. Number 8, for to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gift of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracle, to another prophecy, to another discerning of the Spirit, to another diverse kinds of tongue, to another interpretation of tongue.
So Yahweh Ba'ashir Yahushai give each and every brother their own office. Some brothers, they are good in motivational speech. Some brothers are good in the history. Some brothers are good in the breakdown. But each and every individual has a talent according to their faith, man.
It all comes from the same spirit.
His name is Yahushua, not Jesus. Don't even start. His name Jesus is the devil's name. That goes back to paganism. It means hell Zeus. So we found through the truth that the Messiah's true name is Yahushua, and according to the scriptures that they don't tell us in the Bible, that he's a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah, dark-skinned man, over 10 foot tall with white and woolly hair. That's what's about to return, and he's pissed off for what has been happening upon this earth. Amos chapter 9 and 8. All right, slavery. Still got that. The people that put us in slavery, they haven't paid for that yet. See that? So they got a judgment coming to them. Just, you know, because the God of Israel is the God of the whole world. So there's judgment for every nation. Take rules in the kingdom of men, give it to whomsoever he will. Right. Because these people are known as Jacob, and the Caucasian race, they're really known as Edomites. Right? Everybody has a biblical name. You know what I mean? So you got the Africans, they're the Canaanites. You know, you got the Arabs, they're the Ishmaelites. You got the Godhead Indians, they go back to Persia, which will also go back to the Iranians, which will be Elamites. All right? So everybody has a biblical name. That's what we got to understand. And you'll see why everything is happening on this earth. All right? Go ahead, somebody got to preach about that.
Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the man by the words of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men.
Right. So you see these people in rulership right now, the Rothschilds, you know, all of these elite bankers, they rule the world. But who set them up? That's the thing. The Most High. But guess what he looks like? The Most High. Let's get that according to the scripture. He's a dark-skinned man. I mean, a dark-skinned entity, just like his son, Yahushua. All right? Let's get that on Revelation 1 and 13. Because these people are ruling right now. Somebody got that? Second Ezra. Second Ezra that all right, bring it up. That's right, man. Bring that up real quick.
Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua are upon the sinful kingdom,
Right now.
and I will destroy it from the face of the earth.
That's right,
Saving,
man. So the Lord said, what? Nice and strong again? I'm stopping.
behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is on the sinful kingdom.
So the Lord, his eyes are upon this place. He's watching it 24/7. What's that in Proverbs? He angry with the wicked every day. The Proverbs. It's a song. Please, go ahead.
And I will destroy it off the face of the earth.
Whoa, so the Lord's going to destroy this place, man. Well, he said he wasn't going to destroy the earth with the flood anymore, like during the time of Noah. He said this second death, that was the first death. Now the second death is going to be with what? Fire. And what do you hear Russia and all these nations talk about? ICBM missiles. What do missiles bring? Fire. See that? What is America? A body of land surrounded by water. What happened if you hit this? If you sweep this place with fire from one end of the earth, end of America to the other, it's going to be a lake of fire. Right? That's what a lake of fire. What's up, bro? That's what a lake of fire is going to be at right here in America. Okay. So there's a judgment for 2/3 of our people that don't want to listen, and there's definitely a judgment for Esau. All right, and a judgment for the rest of the heathen. All right. Precept, anybody? Yeah, go ahead, brother.
It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, starting at verse 9.
Right, that's how you know who will be ruling in these last days. Ever since Alexander the Greek, all right, started ruling around 352. He was born, so he started ruling around 336 over Greece. And then around 330, he took down Persia, and he brought us into Greece around 332. Go ahead, Doc. And then from them, you had the Roman Empire. All right, then you had the Byzantine Empire where we were ruling for 1,000 years. And after that, Esau came out with the Ottoman Turks and took us down. All right? Go ahead, brother.
The book of 2nd Esdras.
Because the truth will set some free, and the truth will also make some flee. Go ahead, up.
2nd Esdras 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows.
There you go, man. See that? We already got our flame going before they walk up. They don't want to come near the heat. All right? They see the flame thrower. This word. All right? Oh, I told them, don't even get started. You can see that little devil's grin on his face. He want to say something. You know? Yeah, don't even get started. Yeah. He's talking about the hippie. Eh?
Well, he thought he for sure he was for the fellowship.
Yeah. Man. Oh, that's about it. Appreciate.
All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 7. I'm going to start at verse 10. My defense is of Yahweh, which saveth the upright in heart.
Yeah, defend the Lord. That's watching over his word, right?
The Most High judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day.
There you go. Every day with these devils. He's angry every day with 2/3 of our people. That's why he said the fire is all sent out. That's why you got death every day. See that? So the Lord is angry with the wicked every day, all the way up to that day of judgment. He's gonna release his anger in wrath of fire this time, not in water. He's that anger is gonna be fire. He's gonna melt people. And then when he melts that person in the lake of fire, he's not gonna deliver their soul. He's gonna leave them there to melt completely.
Mm.
Every little grain of their body gonna burn up. Then he's gonna take their spirit back to himself.
Hey.
All right. That's right, man. He's gonna sit right there. He's gonna leave them there to melt in it. All right. So let's get this real quick. We can wrap it up a little bit. This is somebody get Proverbs. Oh, we already did 1 and 5, right? 1 and 5? 6, 1 and 5, 6. All right, 1 Corinthians 2 and 2.
Boss, I think we did that.
Yeah, all the way to 16.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 16. For who has known the mind of the Lord that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of the Mashiach.
Right, so that's right. So we have the mind of the Lord, man. No, 2 and 2.
All the way to 16. Oh. All right, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 2.
Right.
For I determined not to know anything among you, save Yahweh Shah Mashiach.
Right, he didn't show up. Paul didn't show up speaking algebra. He didn't show up speaking geometry. You know, he didn't show up acting like a philosopher. You know, a theologian. What did Paul show up speaking? All right, brother. Y'all be safe, man. Yeah. He said, what did Paul show up speaking? He showed up speaking the testimony of Yahushua. He didn't show up talking about how to build a community. You know, like IUIC like to do. Get your taxes right and all that shit.
Booster Club.
Yeah, the booster. Can't even say that. Now. You gotta be careful.
Oh.
All right. But what did Paul show us speaking? The testimony of Yahushua. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words.
Right. So our word, we teach this truth not with enticing words trying to make people smile. We are here to tell the broad truth that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have to repent. All right. Jesus Cristo no Blanco. All right. All right. El Nombre Yahushua. Yes, Yahushua. All right. See. Right, man. La familia. That's right. That's right, brother. All right, man. So let's keep going. Where we at? Go ahead.
And my speech and my preaching was not with the enticing words of man's wisdom, but in the demonstration of the Spirit and of power. That your faith should not.
Oh, fuck it. So he showed up not just teaching, but he showed up in the demonstration of power, meaning not actually flip that. Paul was saying, yo, at that time people were talking a good game, but they wasn't doing it correctly. Paul was saying he wasn't just about talking, he was about action. All right, that's what he mean by that. He showed up in the power of the Lord. Right?
Verse 5. That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God.
Right. So he want to make sure, just like today, we check on the churches and the brothers, you know, in different cities. Brothers checking on other brothers or whatever you want to call it. All right. And he said what? He wanted to see if they were in the power of the Lord or were they just talking, bumping their gum. Just like today, you got a lot of these camps that are bumping their gums, but they're not moving in the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They're not moving in the spirit of truth. They're not moving in the spirit of prophecy, you know, right? Or the
Verse
proper doctrine.
Verse 6. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect.
Right, so we speak the wisdom amongst them that are perfect. They're the ones that's going to be the acceptors, the ones that are perfect in faith. See, that's where we're perfect at. We're not perfect in keeping the laws. You're not going to be perfect there. But you can be perfect in faith. All right? And believe it. Just like that woman that touched the hem of Yahushua's garment. That was a woman, a person in perfect faith. An example of a woman in faith. Now, what was the example of a man in faith? It would be people like Nathaniel. All right?
In the Bible.
No, yeah. Yeah. I'm talking about Nathaniel, yeah, one of the brothers of the Bible. He said he called him an Israelite indeed. All right? No, that's not Nathaniel back in reincarnation. So go ahead, bro.
Yet not the wisdom of this world, nor the princes of this world that come tonight. But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom which God ordained before the world unto our glory.
Ooh, go ahead, keep going.
Verse 8, which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they known it, they would have not crucified the Lord of glory.
Right,
And that's why Baal had to be put over their face, and the path had to be directed for them to do that. Because according to the Most High's will, because what did Peter say when Yahushua told them that he must be crucified, brought to the council and crucified? And what did Peter say? Put it far from thee, Lord. I will not allow this to happen. And what did Yahushua say? Man, the devil looking to sift you.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is going to according to my Father's will. This has to happen, man.
Right, that bill pulled off the he said he can remove the covering cast.
Come on.
Right, man. And all right, go ahead. I need some more.
Come on.
Yeah. I think you said a good point though. Can you read that last word again?
Verse 8, which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they known it, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory.
Right. No, so why? Because they didn't believe in Yahweh according to the prophecy. All right, Yahweh showed up according to the prophecy that was spoken of him before. Yahweh is so-called Negro. That's great. You know, forget LeBron, forget King James, LeBron James. we dealing with King James Bible. You know, Yahweh. All right. So he said, what? If they'd have known it, see, they didn't believe in Yahweh according to the prophecy, man. You know, if they'd have known that, they would not have killed him and hung him on a tree, just like a shirt. All right. Just like if they knew the Lord today, they wouldn't be attacking the men of the Lord. All right. Go ahead.
Verse 9, but as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man things which God hath prepared for them that love him.
You can't even imagine what the Lord has prepared for us, man. That love him, you know, that love his appearance, and that love him with our whole heart. You know, you gotta show that faith to the end. You gotta think about it. Yahweh was working. He showed up here to do the work. He was doing it fervently, you know, intensely, traveling from city to city, and then his life just stopped. Imagine that, man. He knew he still had people to wake up and to usher in the Lord's kingdom. So who's going to be his voice here on the earth? Who's going to speak up for him while he's in the heavens? That should be enough to fuel you on your path. All right, go ahead up.
Verse 10, but God hath revealed them unto us by his Spirit.
Right. The Lord revealed it to us. You say, how did you learn this? Did you go to a university? Are you ordained? No, Yahweh shall reveal it to us through the Spirit and through the prophets. All right, go ahead.
For the Spirit searches all things, the deep things of God. Verse 11, for what man knoweth the things of man, save the spirit of a man which is in him.
Right, man. So the Most High told us these things from the Spirit that dwells in him, his own mind. You know, that surpasses all understanding. And he told us secrets from that mind to Yahweh to us. Back to John the Revelator again. See that? He told John, he told Yahushua showed up and told John the book of Revelation. All right? But it's something from the Most High's own mind, from his own will. It said the Most High kept that in his own power. All right? Day of the Lord. Go ahead.
Even so, the things of God knoweth no man, but the Spirit of God. Verse 12. Now we have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit which is of God, that we might know the things that are freely given to us of God. Which,
all right, he said he has not put the spirit of the world in our hearts. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he has set the world in their hearts, so that no man can find out the work that Yahweh maketh from the beginning to the end.
Can't figure it out. Okay, how much they read it? How much they pick the book up, have it on the counter, on the dashboard? They got necklaces with Jesus chains, devil on it. You know, Caesar Borgia, tattoos, all kinds of whatever they can do. Go on and join these universities where they're united under one person, one world. All right, they can do whatever they want. They're not gonna find the truth unless they get it through us. All right, they're not gonna find the truth in none of these churches. See that? Churches are nothing but harlot houses, right?
verse 13. Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teaches.
Right? We don't teach it the way man's wisdom teaches. Right? Because the Lord said what? The wisdom of this world is foolish. All right? Go ahead.
But which the Holy Ghost teaches, comparing spiritual things with spiritual.
Right? That's what precept upon precept. Spiritual things with spiritual things. What's that? Prophecy. Comparing the prophecies with the times that you're in. All right? Seeing things, the prophecies moving. You know that's it? Comparing spiritual things with spiritual things. But then you got a lot of jakes comparing spiritual things with carnal things. They want to be carnal, man. All right? Go ahead up.
Verse 14. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of God.
Right, so carnal man cannot receive this. That's what he's saying. But a spiritual man gonna be able to understand and accept it. All right, somebody carnal, they're gonna see what's in front of them. They're gonna believe in science. You know, they're gonna have to see it to believe. They're gonna have to see Yahushua to believe in it. So they're not spiritual. Go ahead.
For they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
Because that spiritual discernment means you have to have spiritual discernment to see these things, and you gotta eliminate the distraction. Because once you're trying to receive the things of the Spirit, that's when carnal things try to get in your way and physically blind what's in plain sight, according to the Spirit, man. Go ahead.
Verse 15. But he that is spiritual judges all things, yet he himself is judged of no man. For who hath known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him?
Who hath known the mind of the Lord, that he may instruct him? It said a man's going of the Lord. So how can a man then know his way? All right, now you can understand your path if you understand the way of Yahweh because it's instructed by him. All right, go ahead.
Now we have the mind of the Mashiach.
All right, so now we have the mind of Yahweh HaMashiach. That's the mind that was placed in us, calling out Abba Father. That's the spirit that was placed in us, calling out Abba Father, for us to get a true understanding of the things that are written in this book. All right, he said, I will give you, I will put my words in my mouth to give you wisdom that your enemies cannot gainsay nor resist, no matter who tries to come up.
Right, man. Yahushua is that lion that roared. Came down here roaring the Lord's words, man. Roaring Yahweh's words. And that roar has continued through time, man. And we're echoing that roar. All right? Yahushua, so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah. That's his name. Okay? Go ahead.
That was it.
I'm still on that. So we've been given the mind of Yahushua. All right? They teach us in church that the Lord's name is Jesus. All right? But Jesus means Hail Zeus. The Lord is a black man from the tribe of Judah. And his great name is Yahushua. And that's what we've been looking for. That's the name for our salvation. He said, those that call my name shall be saved. Right, saved from what? See, you got people walking around in churches claiming to be saved already. I'm saved and sanctified. But we gotta be saved from what's coming. What's coming? What's that? Revelations. Let's say 11 and 8. I think it's let me get it real quick. All right, right here. I think it's 8. Revelation 8, the last verse. 18. My bad. No, it's 8. Yep.
Behold, I heard an angel flying through the
Yeah,
midst
come
of
on,
heaven.
nice and strong. Right? 8 and 13.
This is Revelation 8 and 13.
Right, so you gotta be saved from this right here, man. Go ahead.
And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voice of the trumpets of the 3 angels which are not yet to
There
sound.
you go. This World War III about to kick off. World War III. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Let's get that Revelation 11. We say, come up here, my people. That's right, man, because America's about to be destroyed. All right, and there's only one way out of this place is to know who God is.
Revelation 11 and 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Right, Revelation 18 and 2.
And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
Right, so you're going to hear that voice say, come out of her, my people. Who's his people? The elect of Israel. All right, the woman, which is his servant. All right, he's going to say, come up hither, come out of her. Who's that her? Look at Revelation 18.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils.
Right, somebody get Isaiah 13, I mean. All right, so Babylon the Great is about to fall. All right, and it's going to fall in what? In 1 hour. Go down to verse 10.
Verse 10 of Revelation 18.
Right.
Standing up far off for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come.
Right, and that's talking about this place. I got something with it up here. Whatever left of it. All right. You can't really see it, but look, America's going to be turned into that real soon. The lake of fire. Everything you're looking at is going to be burned up, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. All right. No, you good. All right, so everything's going to be burned up that we're looking at. He said, all these things be dissolved. That's right. You paying anytime you choose.
Go on.
Yeah. 13 and 1?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In the book of Isaiah 13 and 1. The burden of Babylon, which
the burden of Babylon. There you go. Spoken of in the New Testament and the Old Testament. The burden of Babylon, America. Okay? America, the word means bitter. It comes from a guy named Amerigo Vespucci. Okay, go ahead.
which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see.
Right, so Isaiah, which was a prophet, he saw the destruction of this place, Babylon. All right, all the way back in the 8th century, man. BCE. Go ahead.
Isaiah 13 and 2. Lift ye up a banner up on the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand.
Right, so we lifting up a banner. This is the banner that we lifting up upon the high mountain. All right. What's that high mountain? America. All right, so it's an exalted kingdom of Esau that they set up over here called the Founding Fathers. But nothing but devils going around killing our people and slaughtering our people. Look at Thomas Jefferson. Look at Andrew Jackass.
George Washington.
Right, my bad, brother. Look at George Washington. Look at the people today. Look at George Bush. Look at Biden. Look at Trump. He got on TV and said, yo, kill them people in the streets. Don't be nice to them. Be harder on them. He said that out of his own mouth. Now you got Biden talking about giving crack vials and crack pipes and crack needles to our people. He's talking about that's love. That ain't love, man. They never showed us love. Only time they show us love is when we working for them, and even then they don't show us love. Or if you're entertaining them, or if you're walking by them in the street, they give you a little grin. That's it. They never showed us love, man. That was hatred towards their neighbor Jacob. All right? Burning down our temple in 586 BC. Burning down our temple in 70 AD. All right? Tearing us apart with what you call the triumvirate. You know, with the Greek Empire. Coming in there, desecrating our temple with Antiochus Epiphanes in 168 BC. Desecrating our temple with Pompey in 63 BC. All right? Look what they're still doing to our people today with the genocide. What was the other joint? What they had, smallpox?
Tuskegee.
The Tuskegee experiment. Look at it. They still.
Oh, wait, come on.
Yeah. So. Yeah, man. So look, the Native Americans, right?
Another burning down our temple because we are the temple of the Lord during the slavery.
Right, burning us up. They still got Ku Klux Klan out here today. You know, KKK. So it's like, come on, man.
They funded by the government with a 501c3.
Right. So they, you know, so they still haven't been judged for what they did to our people. Somebody get that slaughter for his children. All right. You got what I called earlier?
Seeing all these things shall be resolved.
Yeah.
This is our second. You got it. 2 Peter 3:11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, where in the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Right, so the Lord is going to burn this place up, man, all the way to ashes. What type of person should you be? What should you be looking for in these times? You know? Time is short. He said, what? It's high time to wake out of sleep. Somebody get that? Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 21. It reads, prepare slaughter for his children.
Right, so prepare the slaughter. We're preparing the bed for Esau now. So he can lay in it. That's right. We're preparing it for him. You know, through the Spirit. That's why the Lord said, what? Heap on the wood. Put everything ready for the fire. You know, let Esau preparing his own fire. They're preparing a ditch. You know, they're digging a ditch for Jacob or a grave, and they're really digging a grave for themselves. You know? Go ahead.
Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers.
Right, for the iniquity of their forefathers. You know, and they be like, I didn't do anything. But your forefathers did. It's like we say we didn't do anything. But our forefathers did. So we went into slavery. All right? That's right, man. You got to know who God is to be able to trust in him. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is a so-called black man, a black entity, and his son is Yahushua, a Negro. Okay?
15% better.
Go ahead, brother.
Romans 13, verse 11. And that knowing that like the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Okay. See, now we know. Now we know what times we're in. Because you got this brother, I might send him this video that I was talking to the other day. Hopefully he don't join GOCC after seeing this, man. Because he said, according to GOCC, we're not going to be here to go through the tribulation or Jacob's trouble. But he said, knowing the times, man, you got to know what times we're in. All right, we're going into the time of Jacob's trouble, the time of our salvation, the time of judgment. All right, an evil time, meaning a bad time. He said that knowing the time, it is high time to awake out of sleep. All right, go ahead.
2 Corinthians
No.
For now is our salvation near.
Right,
Then
so we've been looking for salvation since slavery, but now it's near. We got to know that we're not African. We got to know that Lord's true name, that is not Jesus. That's not his name. His name is Yahushua. All right? Go ahead, brother.
that when we believe,
Right, and when we first believe, man. All right, and we believe 2,000 years ago. But now we see the prophecies. Now we know it's at hand. We know this is that time. Because the prophets asked the Lord back then. They said, "Are you going to restore the kingdom now?" He said, "No, in the future." And now we see the prophecies coming to pass. We know that it's close, man. It's closer than when we first believed. Go ahead,
In 2 Corinthians 5:11, knowing therefore the terror of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, we persuade men.
Right, so we know the terror of the Lord. Why? Because we searched it out. We know the stories of Egypt. We know the stories of how the Lord judged Sodom and Gomorrah. He left everything for an example. All right? So through that, we persuade men with these stories. That's why you got to study to show yourself approved, man. All right, go ahead, interjection.
It's the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 8 and verse 61. And therefore is my judgment now at hand.
Oh.
These things have I not showed to all men, but unto thee. And if you like thee, then answered I and said, Behold, O Lord, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times. But at what time thou hast not showed me?
Woo. That's right. He said these are the last times, man. He said that knowing the times, the high time to wake out of sleep, man. But the Lord said, wait, he showed the judgment unto his hopeful elect, or unto his elect. But he didn't show it unto the world. All right? So they're going to be what? Caught in derision, in their own delusion. They're not going to be looking for that day. You know, and it's clear, man. Look at these people, man. They have no clue. And they're going to be like this until judgment day. You know, the destruction can come today. That's what they're going to be. They're going to be doing this. Rolling around a damn plastic ball. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, precept,
Isaiah 66:4. I also will choose their delusions and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, none did hear. But they did evil before my eyes and chose that wherein I delighted not.
Watching all them damn scary movies? Yep. The Lord gonna choose your delusion. Like the boogeyman, he gonna bring the boogeyman to you. You know, one of the most highest paying ratings in the theater is what? The scary movies. The Lord gonna choose, all right, he gonna pluck their mind and see which one scared them the most. He gonna give them that one. You know, and most of them, Edomite is a so-called black man. That's scary. He gonna give you a house shot. Right. Worst nightmare. That's the worst. A so-called black man ruling over you. Right?
This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 6. My people have been lost sheep.
My people are lost sheep, easily led astray, man. They walk around like they're so damn dominant, but they under authority of this government. Straight up, you know. And if not, they'll be under the authority of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Right? You know, us, we're still in slavery on the east coast. So we're like sheep, man. You know, but 2/3 of our people are sheep that are led to the slaughter by the wolves, dressed in sheep clothing. Go ahead, up.
Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
Right, their shepherds caused them to go astray. You know, the daughters, 2/3 of our people, and also these heathens, they have caused our people to go astray. You see that? Turned away from Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? They've turned away from the Father. The way back to the Father. Go ahead.
They have turned them away on the mountains.
Right? They turned them away amongst these same governments that we're teaching against. All right? Amongst the nations and the governments. They, you know, they get jobs, what's that? The religious churches. And they get 501c3 charters through the government. And they turn our people away from the way of truth. Go ahead.
They have gone from mountain to hill.
Right, because they're seeking the truth. They go into these universities, these churches seeking the Most High. Romans 10, real quick, Babakosha. They're seeking the Lord, but the Lord said what? The election are going to find it. All right, they're seeking the truth. Right?
This is Romans chapter 10, verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer for you, to Yahweh for Israel is that they might be saved.
Right, now vocab don't have that same prayer. Vocab want everybody and their family dog to get saved.
For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahweh, but not according to knowledge.
All right, so they got compassion towards the Lord, you know, but not according to knowledge. Why? Because the Lord has deprived them of that knowledge. All right, go ahead up.
They have forgotten their resting place. It's Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 6. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place.
You know, they have forgotten. That goes with the ox know of his owner, the ass his master's crib. But Israel does not know. They have forgotten Jerusalem. They have forgotten their resting place. What's our resting place? The Most High. Yahweh, that's our resting place, man. All right? So our people have forgotten, man. They think they Negro, they think they black, they think they everything but a child of God. But they think they witches, I guess. Yeah, throw that in there too. I was gonna go there. Thank you,
Amos chapter 5, verse 6. Seek ye the Lord Yahweh, and ye shall live, lest he break out like a fire in the house of Joseph and devour it, and there be none to quench it in Bethel.
Right, man. So even to today, the Lord said he's gonna break out like a fire. I mean, alarm, and nobody gonna be able to stop it, man. All right? The Lord said he's gonna destroy a person in their security. He's gonna wait till these Edomites and these people get fully secure, and he's gonna bring destruction on the place. All right? Well, I'm on first.
Nahum chapter 1, verse 6 says, who can stand before his indignation?
Right, because there's indignation coming here. Who can stand before that indignation?
Who can abide in the fierceness of his anger?
Right, so who can abide in the fierceness of his anger?
Right. His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him.
Right, and because of Yahushua, the elect are going to be able to abide that fury. All right, they're going to be covered, be exempt. The Lord will cover them with his hand. You know, that's the only way you can abide that day, man. All right, these people act so bold, you know, mad about a dirty ass dog. But these people act so bold and cocky and proud, but they don't know who doomsday preppers. You know? They got missiles that's gonna hit them bunkers. You know what I'm saying? Then when they come out, it's gonna be nothing but nuclear waste everywhere. And destruction and slavery waiting for these heathens.
They got 200 bag of Doritos. They good.
You know what I'm saying?
Second Ezra, chapter 15, verse 19, it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation.
For great tribulation. So what's that? That's the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, that's going to be the tribulation period, as they keep saying in church, and in GLCC. Saying that we're not going to be here. We're going to be here to see that. The hopeful elect, if you're alive.
And if I may add on, just like the elder was speaking on with y'all doomsday preppers, man. Shit, that shit not going to suffice either. Why? Because, hey, it says that thy brother should have no pity upon thy neighbor for the lack of bread. So shit, if they don't have, y'all got it, they coming to get it, man. You know, it's going to be a dog eat dog time in that time.
Shaking your hand and smiling at you.
Watch you stop about all that bullshit.
Hey, going like, the book of Psalms 91 and 8. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. You know, so only with thy eyes are we going to be able to see the reward of the wicked.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing on both ends. To be exempt and to be able to see the downfall of our enemies. All right? To be able to see that. You about to get it? Go ahead.
This is 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world,
The love of the Father is not in him. Yeah, that's why you gotta take your mind out of this place, man. Because if you fall in love with this place, if you fall in love with something that's gonna be destroyed, your mind is gonna be destroyed, and you're gonna be destroyed right along with it. That's why the Lord say, "Love not the world, and neither the things that are in it," because all these things are temporal. That's why. And Paul also said, in addition to that, we gotta be here so you use the world, but not abusing it, because the fashion of this life shall pass away. So all this is gonna be destroyed. So get your mind up out of this place. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Sirach, chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy.
Hearing this truth, you teach your children the truth, man, and to see the joy, to see your children in the truth, man, that's a joy. And also to see the downfall of our enemy. You know, that's a blessing. All right, he said, only with your eyes shall you see the destruction of the wicked. He wants you to see it. The Lord wants you to be the witness. That's why he calls the 2 witnesses. All right, so he's going to give strength unto his 2 witnesses, you know? And that strength represents this truth, man. That's the first bit of strength that we got. Is this truth, you know? The spirit of Yahweh Shai. So, anybody got any precepts real quick? All right. Go ahead. Let's get Matthew 13 and 11. And then bring yours on, brother. Matthew 13 and 11.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 11. He answered and said unto them, because it's given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away, even that he hath.
There you go, man. You want to know why the book of Revelation jumps around so much? Now you know why. Because it's given unto some to know the mysteries and some not to know. All right? That's right. He spoke some things from the beginning, the present, and in the future. That's what John was doing. All right, go ahead.
This is Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai would do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
There you go, man. All right, that's the secret. These are secrets that the Lord has blessed you with, man. These are secrets that have spanned the test of time, from Yahweh's mind to the prophets to Yahweh Shai to you today, man, as a cup that's being filled up with that same water or that oil. All right, and he's saying our cup runneth over. But then you got these lackeys out here, you know, that call themselves prophets. Like, I'm gonna say the names again: Sakari, GOCC, IUIC, ISUPK. You know, all these false prophets here.
Sakari on there?
So we might have to make him one there. He like Al Sharpton, don't he? Sakari. You got that long ponytail.
Yeah.
Mad at me. But yeah, man. So I'll probably end the day if anybody got a precept. You got a precept, right? All right, anybody got any more precepts? The car probably. But he said, yeah, man, the secrets are given to the prophets, man. So if they don't understand the secrets or understand Revelation, Isaiah, no light in them. That's right, man. So if they don't understand it and mark them to cause division, that's right, man. All right, because you gotta do precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. You gotta match them up, put them in place, man. Just like a collage. Okay, bro.
All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 8, verse 20. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them.
Right. Yep. There's no light in them. What's the light? The spirit of Yahweh Shai, the spirit of truth, man. There's no light in them. Judge the tree by their fruit. You know, they can't break down these scriptures correctly. You're gonna have some that slip up. That don't mean we're all imperfect trying to become perfect. You know, just because you slip up on the scripture, scripture say that man slip with his tongue. Right. Anybody got another question?
Romans chapter 16, verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. All right. So basically, marking them, all right, pointing them out, all right, singling them out, exposing them, and avoid individuals like that. There you go. These individuals and these other false camps.
Right. It's a car in them right there.
And individuals like Lawatazah.
Corner. Yeah, that's hypocrisy.
Lawatazah and hypocrisy.
Yeah, everybody make a post of that. Hypocrisy. Okay.
Deformities, hypocrisy.
Yeah, man. Where's that? All right, go ahead. You can bring that out. Huh? Yeah, go ahead.
All right. This is the book of Sirach 19 and 16. There's one that slippeth
Right.
in his speech.
Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. Yeah, he know it. Look, he know. He look back like, oh, they're saying the chat.
Sirach 19 and 16. There's one that slippeth in his speech, but not from his heart. And who is he that have not offended with his tongue?
There you go, man. That brother still might have a contrite heart. You know? So he's still close to the Lord. But the thing is, he might slip with his tongue because he's still growing. You know what I mean? So you don't want to turn that person to an enemy. He said instead of a friend, become not an enemy. You know? So you give people time and you work with them and help them to grow. All right, that's what we're here for. You know what I mean? So you're gonna slip up from time to time. But scripture say that too. Just man falleth 7 times. Somebody get that Babak shot. Anybody got the other precept that we were just talking about? Let's go there. Yeah.
It's Sirach 6 and 1. Instead of a friend, become not an enemy. For thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that have a double tongue. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thy own heart, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying alone.
There you go, man. Go on your own route. Doing what the hell you want to do. You know, a bull straying alone, they'll destroy themselves. All right? They'll destroy their damn self. Put it in a dangerous environment. That's what this is. It's a dangerous environment for somebody to fall. You know, you straying alone, you know, that's just it. You know what I mean? Oh, I say what? They need a little bit more. It's like a vessel.
Thou shalt, this verse 3, it's Sirach 6 and 3. Thou shalt eat up thy leaves and lose thy fruit and leave thyself as a dry tree.
Come on with it, see? What did the Lord say to the fig tree? He dried it up. He said, bear fruit no more. All right? So that's what they're doing. That's what he means by judge a tree by its fruit. And if they go off, he's going to cut them off. That's what he means. He's going to dry them up over time, all the way to the end. He's going to leave them as a dry tree. All right? Meaning they don't have any water. They don't have the oil. All right? That is, it said the vessel. That might not be it. No, boat. No, that ain't it. All right. There's another one. Yeah. There's another one that said like a boat out in the ocean alone. You know, it's gonna get battered to pieces. A tiny ass boat. You know what I mean? So we gotta put on the full armor. We gotta use what's that? Wise counsel. You gotta use the wise counsel, which is our elders. You know, I do. That keep me sharp. You know what I mean? I go to the elders and I make sure I'm on point. Even if the spirit dealing with me on something, I still go and check it. You know what I'm saying? That's just it, man. So go ahead, brother.
This is Psalm chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night.
Right. So what's the counsel of the ungodly? That's the world. Right? The world is the counsel of the dead, man. You know, the dead man's counsel. But the Lord said, what? A wise man shall attain unto wise counsel. Big difference. Go ahead. I'm on.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20. It says, hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end.
Woo! See that? See, we want to be wise in our latter end, man. Whether we die in this truth, we die with the wisdom and be risen up when the Lord shows up, or we get raised up and changed at the moment of Yahweh's return. All right? So the Lord said, what? Take in this wisdom and be instructed. Just like everything that you get, it comes with instructions. All right? So these bodies which are borrowed, and this time which is borrowed, the Lord gave us instructions on what to do in this work. 5%. 5%? All right, we're going to wrap it up too. Go ahead, precept. Any more precepts? We're going to run through it fast.
This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, and verse 13. Go and ye shall receive. Pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. What?
Oh, no. So the kingdom is already prepared. All we got to do is watch. All right, watch for the signs. Watch when the Lord say go. Like they say, watch for the bat signal, right? So we got to watch for the signal of Yahweh's return, man. All right, go ahead. Let's go ahead.
It's Proverbs 1 and verse 2. To know wisdom and instruction, to receive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, to give something to the simple, to the young man, knowledge and discretion. This man will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel.
There you go, man. So the Lord He's gonna have everything prepared for you, man. The Lord, they got the wise counsel in place, starting with the apostle GMS on down, the elders. He got counsel out here, especially amongst lions, then definitely. And any other sincere brothers out there. All right. Ashar, go ahead, launch it off.
This is Proverbs 13, verse 20. He that walketh with a wise man shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
So you have your cleave unto your kind. He that walketh with the wise men shall be wise. That's to say, obtaining the wise counsel.
Yourself.
This is a book of Isaiah 5:23 and 24, which justify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Therefore, as the fire devoured the stubble, and the flame consumed the chaff, so their root should be as rottenness, and their blossom should go up as a dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel.
Look at Revelation 1:19.
Get Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem, right? The heathen and 2/3 of my people. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
That's prophecy, man. He said these things are faithful and true. All right, go ahead. Revelation 1:19.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 19. Write the things which thou hast seen, and the things which are, and the things which shall be hereafter. The mystery of the 7 stars, which thou sawest in my right hand.
He told him to write the things which he has seen, what the things that he saw presently, and the things that are to come in the future, man. And that's why the book of Revelation skips around so much. Because it sets up for those parables and the mystery to be even that much stronger. All right, so we're going to end it there. We're going to say, call.
Alive. La. Yahweh. Bahashem. Yahweh Shai. Bahashem. Kodash. Mama.
Belong to the elder apostles, GMS, and the elders. And Shalom to you, Akim, and Agwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. That we're going to say,